gold standard that inspires and unites.
This is what Texas wanted, a chance to prove that they can play with the big boys.
No matter what arises against us, no matter what team we play, we're going to be tough all day.
Every waking hour, the mindset must not drift. Whatever challenge may come,
To stay alive, can they hook 'em?
welcome.
Touchdown! Golden! The Longhorns win it in double overtime!
If we leave no doubt and if we go out there and do what we have to do, then it doesn't have to come down to one play.
When the moment arrives, you go to your deepest well of desire
Greatness is right here!
and drain it dry.
Smith is wide open! Too easy! My gosh, what a play!
The most powerful rules are self-imposed.
What we need to do tonight takes all of us together!
Commitments you are bound to keep.
We're just hungry. We're trying to win it all, and that's what we're going to do for sure.
To reach the goals you seek,
Leave no doubt.
Tough all day.
follow the code.
And we're grateful to Common, Oscar, Grammy, and Emmy winner for helping us set the stage here in Arlington tonight. Longhorn faithful exhaled after that comeback win against Arizona State. Now, 3 hours from their campus, hoping the Horns could pull an upset. You look at the seedings, Kirk, it says number 5 against number 8, but few would argue perhaps the two most talented rosters in the sport colliding.
Yeah, I think you're right. Put the rankings to the side. Put what's happened in the last few weeks to the side. Tonight's about tonight. Both those coaches have acknowledged that in our prep this week.
Day. Well, Coach Day, you've had an aggressive attack, offensive play calling early in these 2 playoff games. How can you attack this stout Texas defense?
They're a very good defense, but we always want to set the tone early in the game. Come in at halftime, figure out what the score is, and then make adjustments to go win the game in the second half. And that's no different in this game right here.
All right, thank you so much. Speaking of being able to get out and attack, you talked about Jeremiah Smith. He's been terrific, 70 receptions on the season, but don't forget, another 70-reception young man, Emeka Ibuka. They've got weapons everywhere, from G. Scott, the tight end. Their 2 running backs have 43 receptions. Even if Texas focuses a lot on number 4 guys, they've got more than that in the backfield.
Yeah, you're right, Holly. Tremendous firepower. Ohio State's offense will have to cool their heels for a while. That Buckeye defense out there, and Quinn Ewers and the Longhorns will have the football first. This is electric in here. Quinn Ewers didn't want to make it about him, but he's a competitor. And seeing the scarlet and gray across from him will be added inspiration if he needs it. Jaden Fielding to kick it away for the Buckeyes. Matthew Golden, their star receiver, standing at the goal line. It's a line drive kick right through the end zone and a touchback. So Quinn Ewers has done a lot. He's never had perhaps a start quite like this. He's been on the big stage, lost the semifinal a year ago, but it is the Buckeyes, and this is the game against ASU that he's drawing confidence from.
No doubt about it. Played great late. We talked about that. Very important, as much as we're talking about Ewers. If you're a Texas fan, you know this. And for Ohio State fans, Texas has got to be able to run the football. They're a big play-action team. They're a run-pass option. And when you take the running game away, it negates all of their ability to go to that as their bread and butter. So they've got to run the ball and win the line of scrimmage, which is a tough task against this Buckeye front.
Regular starting tackles, Banks and Williams are in there for Texas. Neither is 100%. Ewers flips it in the flat there, and that's Juan Davis, the seldom used tight end, making a quick catch and a short gain. Here are the impact players when Texas has the football.
They start with Trey Wisner. You'll see both 26 and 23, blue in the backfield. A number of receivers, but Matthew Golden, number 2, has really stepped up, especially last week on that 4th and 13 for the Buckeyes defense. It's hard to pick 2 guys for impact players the way they've been playing. Jack Sawyer leads the way on the front, and Caleb Downs, the transfer, doing an outstanding job, staying right in the middle of that Buckeye defense.
Wisner with a carry, makes a cut. Both sides say these early downs, Kirk, are so important. You want to avoid 3rd downs against these defense. And Banks with the ankle, Williams with the knee. They were healthy all year, tweaked it late, seemed to be good to go, and Jake Majors also healthy.
And actually, you know, we're here early, and the way Ohio State has started, just who's going to win the push at the line of scrimmage? Not a bad surge there on that first play. They pulled the center, Jake Majors, around. The leader of that offensive line gives them a shot here on 3rd and short.
They need two to get this drive going. Jaden Blue now in the backfield. Ewers looking to throw and flips it downfield. One-handed grab by Golden on the run. What a play by this guy who is perhaps the most underrated receiver in the country.
And a good job of moving and getting him away from the pressure on 3rd down. Igbinosun, number 1, pretty good coverage, just never locates the football. And Matthew Golden picks up right where he left off against Arizona State. One hand brings it down. Huge 3rd down conversion for the Longhorns.
They get 24, collected it just in time before stepping out of bounds. End around, Ryan Wingo, the speedy freshman, able to escape, get the edge, and scoot out of bounds. Sonny Styles, the linebacker, was chasing him. Denzel Burke eventually forced him out.
Yeah, Sark is known, Steve Sarkisian, a head coach and play caller for Texas, is known for his ability, like a lot of great play callers, gives you a lot of different looks, a lot of formations, a lot of personnel groupings, and his script is legendary. You talk to anybody in the coaching fraternity, they will talk about these first 15 plays. Sark draws it up as well as anybody, and here early, giving this Buckeye defense a lot to communicate, a lot to have to adjust to. Here's another different look.
Empty backfield. Ewers short drop, ball rejected. Threw it and was just batted back in his face. Jack Sawyer did that 3 times in the Rose Bowl. JT Tuioloau also dangerous off that edge.
And Tuioloau is a kind of both of them a little bit of a twist, both the outside guys. Watch 33 right in front of you. He'll work to the middle and then get that hand up right there, that right hand. He is legendary with his ability. That's the 6th this year. I think he had 3 last week against Oregon, and here he's already off to a start with a knockdown.
Very long arms Sawyer has. So now they need 4 on this 3rd down. Trying to run for it, and contact right near the line of scrimmage. Wisner met by number 0, the eraser, Cody Simon, and it's 4th down. Early decision for Sark here.
Yeah, big decision. He'll probably go for it, knowing him. Watch the defensive line eat those offensive linemen up, and it frees Zero, who's the MVP, defensive MVP in the Rose Bowl, to get downhill. Such great instincts from Cody Simon. Easy play there on 3rd down.
What do they say? You've got to get a hat on Simon. In other words, block number 0 to get the run game going. Need about 2.5 yards. Pressure comes. Ewers gets it out, incomplete. He was hurried, and that time Simon was in coverage against DeAndre Moore, and the Buckeyes get a 4th down stop.
Well, Ohio State brought pressure. They bring Jordan Hancock on the blitz, but it's both guys on the right side. Hancock comes here, Sawyer gets around, and both of them get pressure. Big job right there by Sawyer. You can see Hancock take on Wisner. I think that made him have to get the ball out of his hands a little bit prematurely.
First possession for Ryan Day's offense coming up. Ohio State, Will Howard, slow starting offense throughout most of the regular season. They have changed that in a huge way in the playoffs, Kirk. Aggressive play calling, Howard sharp from the start. Early touchdowns against Tennessee and Oregon.
Boy, they have been aggressive on early downs, too. He's thrown 3 touchdown passes in these last 2 games on early downs. He's been in a rhythm, and honestly, at times it's like it's 7-on-7. Neither Tennessee or Oregon is able to affect him in any way. So we'll see if Texas, what they have in store to try to affect his rhythm.
Jeremiah Smith wide left, guard by Malik Muhammad, but they hand it off to Quinshon Judkins, who lowers his shoulder and picks up about 5 on 1st down. Makuba got him down. Smith, of course, one of your impact players.
Yeah, Jeremiah Smith, of course. We talked a lot about him. But again, I'd like to add Emeka Egbuka, number 2, to these receivers. Trevion Henderson in the backfield. Colin Simmons, great pass rusher. And Barron leads the way for the Texas secondary.
Judkins hit immediately, but Barron Sorrell fought forward for about 1.5 yards. So Ohio State offensive line has had to make do. Perhaps their 2 best linemen injured early in the season. Josh Simmons went out, and then Seth McLaughlin, the unanimous All-American center. Hinsman filling in for him.
It's been amazing to watch Donovan Jackson. I just started to circle him. The guard, All-American guards, had to kick out with that injury. You mentioned his Simmons, and is holding up there at left tackle, doing a good job, being a great teammate.
This Texas majority crowd trying to make noise here on 3rd and 3. Howard, pressure is picked up, ball out quickly. Emeka Egbuka makes the catch, is knocked backwards, but first down yardage in front of Jahdae Barron.
Yeah, they dialed up some pressure here. They bring blitz right through here, but watch the location of this football. Emeka Egbuka against Barron, outside shoulder, right where it needs to be, just trying to look for that first down. Move the sticks, and now you'll probably start to see Ryan Day and Chip Kelly get a little bit more aggressive and creative with how they attack after getting a new set of downs.
Egbuka and Smith both on the same side, the left. Howard's looking to the right, and the almost forgotten man is Carnell Tate. He'd be a featured receiver on a lot of teams. Number 3 guy here, picks up 14.
Boy, Will Howard, Chris, almost gets fooled. Watch the drop right here. Surprises him. He didn't anticipate that, and almost, ball is tipped. Almost Trey Moore with a chance to surprise him and come up with that interception. Just mistimes his jump. He's a pass rusher that time on a zone blitz drops in coverage.
He's got the tight end, goes in motion. Howard looking to launch downfield. Smith's down there just over his hands. Covered by the safety, Andrew Makuba. Will Howard has been incredibly precise in the playoff. 7 of 8 shots before that pass, Kirk.
And this is the exact play that they ran when they scored the touchdown against Oregon. The exact same play. The difference is Makuba is in position. He does a much better job of anticipating that. And, you know, he had a shot to go up there and make a play on the ball, but much better coverage that time. And by the way, Texas sitting back with their 2 safeties. They want to keep everything in front of Ohio State's receivers and make them have to earn it down the field.
Late handoff, Judkins goes forward. Texas is the best team in the country, Kirk, at preventing explosive plays by opponents in the first quarter. And one of the best scoring defenses in the first quarter.
Yeah, they've been outstanding all year. I think that I just talked about the safeties staying back. I think that's a smart play with how Ohio State has been, and especially as good as their red zone defense has been. And they want Ohio State to have to get into that red zone and earn their way into the end zone, not give them any of these big plays.
Fringe field goal range at the moment on this 3rd and 6 play. Howard across the middle finds the seam in the zone and converts again to Egbuka.
Now they go trips like a wide bunch look out to the left. Watch the linebacker here, Anthony Hill. Watch his eyes. He gets out there. He wants to help. Meanwhile, they attack right back into the middle. Good feel that time by Will Howard. Used his eyes to move Anthony Hill and then comes back into the reliable Emeka Egbuka for that catch. Making quick decisions here on this opening drive.
Trevion Henderson is the back. Howard took a look that way, now fires across the middle. Egbuka's got it again. Cannot forget about him.
No.
1st and goal, they got 14 more.
Yeah, when you have split safeties, that's where you're going to see Chip Kelly try to attack, and they're doing that here. They're seeing that safety look. It makes a lot of sense. They probably anticipated it with the big plays that they've had against man coverage. So what do you do if your safeties are back? You attack over the middle, behind those linebackers and between the safeties. And how about Emeka Egbuka with those hands? Very strong hands out of the slot.
Texas stout in the red zone. Ohio State has a 1st and goal. And across the middle off the hands of Carnell Tate, who was open in that slant.
That's a long ride by Will Howard, and he's waiting to feel this linebacker. If he comes down, he's going to kind of make this throw. Watch the linebacker comes down, sees it, he's got exactly what he wants. And Tate, who's pretty reliable in his own right as a young player, sophomore, right into his hands for the touchdown and just not able to secure it.
It becomes important, of course, if the Buckeyes cannot find the end zone here. 10th play of the drive. Judkins had to dodge traffic and then fights forward and scores! Ohio State up and running quickly again.
I'll tell you, Chris, that time they used Jeremiah Smith to almost as a decoy. How about the downhill running by Junkins? Never gives up, runs right through the safeties and linebackers of this defense, Hill and Taft. Came in expecting Trevion Henderson. It's been a tandem, thinking he would get the early opportunities, and it's been Quinshon Junkins with his shot.
And a couple of touchdowns in the first round game against Tennessee. That's his 11th rushing touchdown this year, the former Ole Miss Rebel.
Chris, watch, like I said, they moved Jeremiah Smith, but watch the effort and the communication. Shabula, the right guard, communicates, does a good job of picking up that blitzing linebacker. Gives a chance for the power running. Even though he's undersized, he runs physical.
In the CFP, Ohio State 3 for 3 touchdowns on their opening drive. Texas surviving in double overtime against the Sun Devils. The other 3 games involving these 2 teams en route to this game. Emphatic victories in Ohio State, just like against the Volunteers and the Ducks. Jumping out quickly. Look at the scoring margin. And again, they only had more than 7 points in the first quarter once in the regular season. Western Michigan, way back in September.
It's as if Chip Kelly and Ryan Day and that offensive staff just shifted to a different gear, a different mindset, an aggressive approach, and we just saw that in the opening drive. So talked about how important it is for Texas to start fast with the way the Buckeyes have looked these last 2 weeks. Miss an opportunity in plus territory on 3rd and 3. Don't convert on 4th down. And there came that Ohio State offense like we've seen the last couple games, right down the field.
Luka with 3 catches in that drive, 2 of them on 3rd down. All 3 catches resulted in a first down. So Quinn Ewers now in a 7-0 hole. Nobody's ever faced a former team in the CFP. That'll probably change going forward with guys moving around so much.
You're right. Well, let's see how Texas and Sark answer. Did a pretty good job of moving the ball. They had a big catch by Matthew Golden that got him across midfield. Both teams now make some adjustments after that opening series.
Can they get the running game going? It was a struggle against Arizona State. They didn't have the football very much in that game. Couldn't get the defense off the field. Ewers has pressure, and he'll be swarmed and sacked. Tuimoloau, the senior, one of those menaces off the edge for Ohio State.
This is what you've seen a lot in the last few weeks, is coverage creating hesitation for the quarterback that allows the front to be able to get home and come up with sacks. It's a combination. They play together. Great coverage allows those defensive linemen to eat.
Slant, and the catch is made by DeAndre Moore, and on 2nd and 15, they move the sticks across the 35.
That's a good answer to the aggressive approach from Ohio State. They're getting downhill so fast, so what do? You got to try to find a way to get your playmakers, and they've got dynamic playmakers. You got to get them out in space. That time they were able to do that, yards after the catch.
Both teams employing tempo in the early stages here. That's Wingo who goes in motion, gets the ball on the edge, has some blocks. Wingo, blazing speed, and he's just tripped up by Caleb Downs, who saved a touchdown there.
Well, Sark is known for his screen game. Watch how he gets this ball out, and he gets linemen downfield. They're not dealing with this pass rush the way this game has started, so just get the ball out of his hands in a hurry, get the lineman downfield out in front, and give, again, these tremendous skill players a chance to make a play after the catch. What a play there by Caleb Downs, or he's gone.
Unanimous All-American safety, former Crimson Tide player. Pressure, ball out, incomplete. 2 Buckeyes bearing down on Ewers, and Wisner couldn't collect it.
Well, I think we know Ohio State's approach here. You know, a lot of times people go against Sark with that script we refer to, and it's kind of a bend but don't break, and hey, let's kind of feel it out, see what's going on, and then we'll make our adjustments. And instead, Jim Knowles dialing up pressure and coming after Quinn Ewers.
Forget bend but don't break. It's hell-bent to get after the quarterback early for Ohio State. 2nd and 10, and white or blue around the end. The speedy back who's capable of scoring from anywhere in the field, picks up about 4, sets up another 3rd down. They'll need 6.
But they're playing downhill. It's interesting to see the reaction from Texas. They had a couple quick throws early to get the ball out in a hurry to give their playmakers a chance. And now here they are at another 3rd down. Can they protect Ewers here?
Gunnar Helm was an excellent weapon, athletic tight end, motions across. Always have to think about him on 3rd down and in the red zone. And there's a flinch by Ohio State. This 3rd down just got more difficult on Texas, I should say.
Start. Offense, number 56. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
It's Cameron Williams, who missed the game last week. The right tackle.
Sprained his knee against Clemson.
Yep.
His absence was crucial in that escape against Arizona State.
Well, now, as if it wasn't already hard enough, you go from 3rd and 7 to 3rd and 12.
Isaiah Bond has battled injuries. Key member of this team when he is healthy on the field in this 3rd down. Ewers walked right up into pressure and got sacked again by Tuimoloau and Ty Hamilton. And the Buckeyes pass rush flexing early here.
And Ohio State walks pressure up. You see the backers. They've been bringing these backers, but here on 3rd and 12, they show it and then they drop back. Watch the, again, hesitation. You see Bond there breaks free. It would have given them positive yards, but Ohio State's able to play zone and get that kind of pressure by creating some confusion and covering everybody on the back end. Nowhere to go with the football.
Michael Curran, the freshman, to punt it away. Brandon Innes waves for a fair catch. Ewers can move around better than he has in a couple of months, but escapability, not his strong suit, would you say, from the pocket?
Not at all.
Aerial coverage brought to you by Goodyear tonight, the best seat in the house since 1925. Happy 100th anniversary to the Goodyear blimp. Chick-fil-A moves on the field, opening possession for Ohio State.
Yeah.
Howard Sharp on 3rd down.
Yeah, he was great on 3rd down. There had to be a little bit more patient throwing the ball underneath. Emeka Egbuka with a couple big catches. But to me, the thing that stood out is Quinshon Judkins running the football with passion, attitude, energy. Unbelievable the way he was able to really set the tone. Guy that has been getting opportunities, but with Trevion Henderson, their whole goal all year was to keep these guys both fresh for a long potential run in the postseason, and they come into this game at this point in the semifinals. Both look like they're in midseason form right now.
Both closing in on 1,000 yards. Howard looking to throw, and it's Smith winning one of those horizontal routes and caught it behind the line, turned up for about a 3-yard gain before Trey Moore tackled him.
And again, goes back to one of the plays that scored a touchdown against Oregon. This time Texas, much better job of getting off the block. Skilbo there, the nickelback, did a nice job of finding Smith and making that tackle. That's hard to do in the open field.
I'm going to say the same thing we said their games against Tennessee and Oregon. This is important for Texas defense early. You got to stop,
with
right?
3:44 to go, this is a huge drive for Texas.
Got to stop this Buckeye momentum, but again, wide open over the middle of the field. Carnell Tate holds on, and they get the drive going with a 14-yard gain.
And again, instead of downfield, the way it was against Oregon and the way it was against Tennessee, it's how far back they are. Okay, we're going to take the space underneath. You're going to throw it underneath. You're going to hit Tate this time. Emeka Egbuka, Jeremiah Smith. Let them do their damage after the catch instead of throwing the big bombs downfield. Let those come naturally.
Play action. Here's a potential shot downfield. Howard has all kinds of time. Is going to scramble and scoot out of bounds after a short game. Both Ryan Day and Chip Kelly told us they expected to have to be more patient. Not quite the fireworks tonight, maybe, but just consistent execution.
Yeah, and it has everything to do with just Texas' scheme. They're more of a zone team. They don't play as much man. They don't leave their corners on islands as often. They will, but not as often. And especially the way Ohio State's played those last 2 games. It's smart to try to keep the ball in front of you. That time, he actually missed Jeremiah Smith on a curl of about 14 yards. He had him open, got to him a little bit late, and had to scramble for some yards.
Henderson slot right now, motions back in, gets the football on the end around, and Trevion Henderson had that electric long touchdown run against Oregon, gets loose again and gets out near midfield. Got a block from his buddy Judkins.
I had to say that. Trevion Henderson, great run, but my focus is right here. This guy right here is possessed tonight. Watch him. He's a running back leading the way. Bang! Hits Gilbo, puts it right on his back. So not only is he running the football with an attitude, he's sending a message with a block leading his way for his man there, Trevion Henderson. Somebody's out there playing with some energy.
They don't usually count pancake blocks by running backs, but that would consist of one. Pump fake early, and now across the middle, and it's caught by G. Scott, involving all the weapons in the early going, got 14 more.
Is this a gutsy throw? Watch this window again. You have the two safeties, so you want to attack the middle behind the linebackers. Watch when he releases this ball, what he throws into right there. I mean, that looks like potentially an interception, and instead it goes right to the tight end, G. Scott.
Scott has shown in the two CFP games what a dangerous weapon he can be. Ohio State threatening again to blow this one open early. Henderson comes into a blocker and is dragged down after about a half-yard gain. It was Lole and Colin Simmons who grabbed him.
Yeah, Colin Simmons off the edge. It's a
flag came in late.
Yeah, really late, yeah. I think Trevion Henderson maybe with a headbutt.
Howard with a message for his running back.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Offense, number 32. 15-yard penalty. The down count.
So these guys are caught up playing with a lot of emotion and a lot of testosterone. That's a mistake that'll set him back 15.
Yeah, he gets picked up, gives a little headbutt and a little left hand into the face. Sure, maybe a few things are said, but Trevion Henderson not having it, so it cost Ohio State after the whistle. Loses his cool. Usually a guy that plays with a lot of energy, a lot of passion. Really a leader for Ohio State. Very uncharacteristic mistake there by one of the leaders of the Buckeyes to lose his cool like that.
And see if it's a drive killer. The way Ohio State's moving the football, you wouldn't count on it. 2nd and 24, final minute of a Ohio State dominated first quarter. And however, the keeper will be wrapped up and dropped. Ethan Burke got him behind the line, 2-yard loss.
And I got to believe that this is a read, but watch if he gives this, where this ball goes. If he gives that to Junkins, he's out. And he's taking that safety on for big yards. So if he's reading that, that's Burke. Burke's in that gray area. Howard maybe trying to surprise him. He doesn't pull it very often to keep it. He's not known as a runner. Maybe try to catch him napping to get around the edge, but boy, they missed an opportunity there.
They've run the zone read a lot this year. It hasn't been used as effectively in the CFP games. Now 3rd and a mile. They flip it down, and Judkins is not going to be able to escape that sandwich. Knocked down to the 50, and Texas does get a stop thanks to that penalty.
The penalty by a veteran there. Ohio State had that same energy and that same momentum on that drive, but that penalty definitely slowed the Buckeyes' momentum down.
Ohio State 122 yards as they continue the pattern of quick starts. End of one in Arlington. You're watching the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic on ESPN. Second quarter coming up. Welcome back to Arlington. College football playoff semifinal of the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic. Winner advances to take on the Fighting Irish. Week from Monday in Atlanta. Ohio State punting here for the first time. Joe McGuire, the Aussie. Silas Bolden, who took one to the house against Arizona State in the quarterfinal, standing inside the 10. Texas comes after it. And the punt directed over near the 10-yard line, and Bolden makes the catch. Gets a couple blocks. Look out! Dropped the ball. Came right back to him. put the ball on the ground and it bounced right up off the rug into his hands. It was knocked loose by Caden Curry, and a break for the electrifying returner for Texas.
We were thinking about last week's game against Arizona State when he had a big return. Look how loose the ball is just as he's running, and there's Curry leaning in to get that. Great job. Ohio State did that against Oregon too, just on special teams, attacking the football, not just randomly throwing their arm, but deliberately going at the ball. And how fortunate is Texas, as you said, that ball bounces right back up into the arms of number 11.
If not for that, Ohio State is set up trying to add to the damage. Can Texas get the running game going? Quintrevion Wiesner had to dodge traffic behind the line of scrimmage. Quick penetration. Lathan Ransom from his safety spot came flying downhill.
Well, we're getting our answer to who's going to win the battle at the line of scrimmage. That was so important to Texas. Now, there's a long way to go, but in this first quarter and the way this thing's starting, Ohio State is not only attacking with that defensive line, these linebackers and safeties are getting downhill too. And until you do something to slow them down, they're not going to change.
2nd and 12. Ewers to the corner. Blue knocked down short of the 30 by Hancock. Flag is out. We'll set up a 3rd down pending the verdict here from Jerry Maglanis.
Personal foul, face mask, number 2 offense. 15-yard penalty, replays 2nd down.
We got Matthew Golden, the Longhorns receiver. That's a damaging 15-yard setback.
Yeah. And again, a guy that you can count on. Watch Zero running. Cody Simon running to the football. There's the block, potential block, and then that right hand gets up into the face, trying to get leverage, trying to make a block. Right hand grabs a hold of that mask. So just like Ohio State had a huge penalty to set them back, Texas now has the same issue.
All the way back at the 14 on 2nd and 21. It's Blue in motion. Ewers takes a peek, checks it down over the middle to DeAndre Moore. Just a chunky yardage of 10 to at least give them some hope on this 3rd down play.
Sometimes you watch young quarterbacks in college and it feels like the game is moving, like if you're watching a video and fast forward, the game's just fast. And then you see a guy like Ewers most of his career, as he's gained so much experience, the game kind of moves in slow motion. Well, so far tonight, it feels like from up here, the game is moving fast for him against this scheme from Ohio State, even though he's a veteran guy that started for 3 years.
See if they bring pressure. They do. Ewers steps up. Lost the ball. It's on the ground. Texas retains possession, but for the 3rd time already, Buckeyes with a sack. Sonny Styles knocked the ball loose.
Yeah, they're dialing up this pressure. At 4 sacks against Tennessee. We saw what they were able to do against Oregon, and they're bringing the pressure again here. That's Styles, who's a former safety, has moved to linebacker. Does a good job again of getting to that outside of Cameron Williams. Gets that right hand, again locates the football, knocks it away. Texas once again fortunate to jump on top of a loose football.
The ferocity of this Ohio State pass rush, Kirk. 15 sacks in 9+ quarters of the CFP. Caleb Downs spins back and cannot escape. It's a good punt. Texas needed that to happen, and Kern did his job. Howard, the offense back to work.
We're back in Arlington, Ohio State with a 7-0 lead, and you see the star wide receiver for Texas, Matthew Golden, headed to the locker room. 149 yards against ASU. They had been working on his left ankle. He tried to go back in the game, unfortunately got a key penalty, and now he's headed to the locker room, Chris and Kurt.
Laura, thank you. He's become their dominant deep threat weapon. If he cannot return or is slowed by an ankle, that's more bad news.
Oh, yes, yeah. Chris, we were talking at the break about Jeremiah Smith, just the 1 catch and I think 3 or 4 yards. And Ohio State's been using Emeka Buka and others, Carnell Tate. Don't be surprised to see them work other options, and then eventually Texas forgets about 4, and then you take your shots downfield. Here they are again.
Pitch to the perimeter. Tate collects that one. Howard now 8 of 10.
Again, he's being patient. I bring up Jeremiah Smith because you're getting a corner walked up on him. You got a safety over top. So they're taking what the defense gives him, and until this defense is going to eventually start to respect other parts and other aspects of this passing game, then you'll get your one-on-one shots.
Again, they work away from Smith to Tate on the opposite side. Another completion, first down to the 46.
Again, not surprised at all. Anybody who's followed Ohio State, Carnell Tate, G. Scott's been coming on, and Emeka Egbuka. They have a lot of different weapons, not to mention Henderson and Junkins out of the backfield. So I know Jeremiah Smith's gotten a lot of attention, and deservingly so, for those last couple of games. But I think it's smart by Ohio State to use their other options, and then, as I said, you know it's coming. It's just a matter of when do they try to hit him downfield.
Looking to throw on first down, backpedaling. They finally get near him. He's been not sacked at all the last 3 games, rarely pressured, but Bill Norton did hurry the quarterback, and our guys have spotted on the left hand, the non-throwing hand of Will Howard, kind of a knot.
Yeah, you can see it right there. It's a big knot. It's a golf ball. How about Bill Norton getting some pressure there? There's a good look at it right there as well. As long as it's in his left hand as a quarterback, you block that out, deal with the pain, and keep playing. And I think he's doing a pretty good job of handling that.
Fake it to Judkins, pitch it to the edge. This is Smith, and they do a good job stringing it out. Flag comes out. Jahdae Barron forced him out. That great matchup we've been looking forward to. Smith against the veteran Barron, the Thorpe Award winner.
Yeah, I think that's a hold on G. Scott, the tight end, trying to help out Jeremiah Smith, but good effort by Jelani McDonald working to try to get to Smith. That's what caused that hold.
Holding, offense, number 2, 10-yard penalty, second down.
That's the best chance Texas has to get Ohio State's offense off the field, a self-inflicted wound.
That's exactly. You and I thinking the same thing, because we've called these last couple games. We've seen Ohio State just going up and down the field. The way this game started, the Henderson penalty put him way behind the sticks, and now the hold by Scott does the same thing.
Again, Ohio State, as they've done first 2 rounds of the playoffs, scoring the opening possession. Judkins, a touchdown run if you're just joining us here. Texas stopped on 4th down in their first possession, but hasn't really mounted a serious threat yet. Longhorns show pressure. It's picked up. Howard flips it short across the middle, and looking the ball in is Merrick, one of the additions via the transfer portal. Transfer from Ohio U, got 12 yards.
You're starting to see Texas assert themselves a little bit better up front. That time Alfred Collins, 95, does a nice job of getting some pressure. We saw Billy Norton, 15, a few plays earlier. So they're fighting through some double team, playing violent at the line of scrimmage here in the last few plays. Best pass rushers for them in these 3rd down situations, 11 off to the offense's right, and 8 as well, Trey Moore. Both those guys can get after him.
See if they can pressure Howard in 3rd and 8. They only rush 4. He steps up, fires across the middle off the hands of Egbuka, who is a step in front of Malik Muhammad, but Texas defense does get the stop.
I circled Simmons just because he's been doing this all year as a true freshman. He's right here, does a pretty good job of applying the pressure, works the round prior. You actually see Emeka Egbuka's tight coverage there. Really good job by Texas. They haven't played a ton of man, but Malik Muhammad does a pretty good job there of getting into that passing lane. Will Howard stepped up away from the Simmons pressure, but Texas gets them off the field there on that stop on 3rd down.
And again, it's a major penalty in Ohio State that really undoes the drive. Joe McGuire will try to pin the Longhorns deep again. Good deep boot. Bolden lets it bounce, and it bounces backwards. That's going to be effective, and now heads back toward the goal line and finally rolls dead about the 8-yard line. 44 yards on the punt. The trophy outside the building. It'll be in the building for the winner of this game against Notre Dame a week from Monday in Atlanta.
Legit cold out there.
It's legit cold. Oh, I know. I've been here yesterday. Tonight's road test brought to you by Goodyear. Let's go back in time when the Cotton Bowl was played at the old Cotton Bowl in the natural grass in 1997. Steve Sarkisian of the BYU Cougars.
Sark.
Defensive game, but he was able to find tight end game-winning touchdown. They beat the Wildcats by 4. Nice celebration by Sark.
Hey, Sark could play. He was fun to watch.
Has yet to get the tight end involved here. Gunnar Helm, talented, big part of the offense, hasn't been targeted yet tonight. Wisner with a solid first down gain. That's important.
Almost 300 yards, a couple touchdowns. He's trying to get that going right now with his play calling and get Quinn Ewers and his offense going, but a good run to start this drive.
Texas hasn't played in the Cotton Bowl in 21 years. Ohio State lost here last year to Missouri. And there's a downhill run for a first down by Wisner right near the 20.
8 men were up close to the line of scrimmage. Look at all these scarlet jerseys up here. Texas still trying to establish this run. That's back-to-back counter plays. They pull that backside guard and they tie it in, and they get the first down into that 8-man front.
Stretch run of the regular season. Longhorns' running game was very powerful, especially in closing out games. Here's Gunnar Helm on cue, getting involved. Went up high. Sonny Styles delivered the blow, and it's ruled incomplete. Didn't hold on.
Well, they do a good job of protecting him here. He's got time. The ball just gets away from him. Keep in mind, he's 6'5", going up, and a heck of a hit there by Styles. We saw him on a pass rush. Styles is a linebacker, now hits him hard here to separate Gunnar Helm from the football. There's Sark. He wants a targeting call, and I'm sure they'll take a peek at it.
See if they do buzz down from the booth before this ball is snapped.
Look clean to me, but they're going to... I thought he hit him in the chest.
Shown the replay. Texas fans have made their thoughts known. See if there is a booth review, or they've already looked at it, perhaps.
I thought it looked clean on the replay to me.
Yeah, Bill Lamagnier, our rules expert over to the left here, agrees with you.
Sonny Styles, a former safety, when he's in coverage as a linebacker, you can see how natural and comfortable he feels at that part. Getting back, they had a wide open Gunnar Helm and just got the ball to him late. Ball sailed, made it tougher than it needed to be.
He is a very rocked up 235 pounds, always been a great hitter. Dad played for Ohio State.
You could argue that Gunnar Helm for Texas is maybe the most improved player from where Texas was a year ago to where they are this year.
First time they looked his way. On second down, slant, DeAndre Moore hit very quickly. Not much after the catch so far for Texas. Jordan Hancock held it to a 4-yard gain.
Yeah, everything is downhill. Everything is tight, and when you make a catch, you're dealing with an Ohio State defender right in your face. That's JTT that is down for Ohio State.
Holding on to his left ankle. Athletic trainers will attend to him. We step away. 3rd and 6 for Texas when you come back. Ooh.
The CFP semifinal at the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic is brought to you by Cheez-It. Want it? Need it. Cheez-It. Allstate. You're in good hands. And Gatorade. It fuels the best because it is the best.
Talked to Colt McCoy pregame, the quarterback in all 3 of those meetings between the programs, 3 times in 5 years. Tuimoloau, who's got a sack and a half, has been the leader of this pass rush so far heading into the tent. And now Ewers tries to find an answer here. They're just 1 of 4 on 3rd down. Pretty average team throughout the season on 3rd down, and Ohio State way above average at stopping 3rd downs. So Kenyatta Jackson steps in for JT. Jaden Blue comes in motion. Ewers steps up, looping throw. Wingo was grabbed in the jersey. Don't see a flag. Jordan Hancock had a fistful of jersey as he was running by him.
Yeah, that little switch release by Sark. Watch 5 go down to the sideline. Gets a little bit of separation right there. Grabbed onto the jersey. Surprised that's not an interference called no flag came in.
More than surprised at Sarkisian.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, it was right in front of the official, grabbed onto it, Bill. You see interference there?
Yeah, I do. He grabbed him. It was a restriction, game separation.
Instead of a first down, Texas will punt. Caleb Downs drifts over, lays for a late fair catch at the 35. Holly?
Well, I've checked with the athletic training staff, longtime athletic trainer Doug Callan, and he said Will Howard has this huge knot on his hand, but they're not exactly sure when it happened. They think he may have bumped into somebody's face mask. Let's take a look at this play, and we'll see if this is it. But Will is not complaining about it. He has not received any treatment on it or any ice on it. He doesn't appear to be in a ton of pain, but I can tell you it is the size of a golf ball. But he is toughing it up right now and does not seem affected.
Our cameras are everywhere. There was Ethan Burke. I think that was it, Kirk, in the hand.
Yeah.
Had the face mask.
He's a PA guy. Just, you know, rub a little dirt on it. If you can find some dirt down there on this pristine field and just keep playing football.
Find some rubber pellets. Does that help? Is that as good as dirt?
That'll work.
Ohio State, thanks to penalties, has cooled off a bit on offense since that opening possession. Henderson runs right into heavy traffic, gets nothing.
Talked about the defensive line. I started to see some glimpses in that last series, starting to make some plays, starting to get off some of these double teams. Looks like Bill Norton a little bit slow to get up. He was one of the guys that's holding his own inside there.
Mola bouncing around, has got that left ankle taped up.
Yeah, how important is he? 5.5 sacks in this postseason in these 3 games so far.
We'll go look to Norton. We'll go to Holly for an update.
Well, JT, right now, as you see, a very heavily taped left ankle. He is in quite a bit of pain. He keeps grimacing as he tries to run, but he has gone up and down the sideline a couple of times here. It looks like he's going to try to go, but guys, I can tell you he is in a great deal of pain right now.
So many injuries that happen just like that one. You just kind of get caught up in traffic. Some guy falls on you. It's an innocent looking play, but extremely painful.
He's in a stalemate and just kind of doing his job, and then behind him, and the lineman rolls up on top of that ankle. You see it all the time in the NFL and college and in the trenches. Looks like Bill Norton's kind of smiling there with Sark. There's Trevion Henderson, boy, right there, right into his chest. Let's kind of review what Texas's plan is, because they've held Ohio State so far to just that opening drive touchdown. Remember, their goal is not to give up the big plays downfield. Keep everything in front of them and make Ohio State have to methodically move the ball down the field and then squeeze them in the red zone and make them kick field goals. So far, they've given up the 1 touchdown, so the plan so far is working.
2-back look. Judkins on the edge, makes the cut. Flag comes in as he is knocked down hard. Big hit delivered by Andrew Makuba, but that's back near the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, you got a flag on the right tackle, Josh Fryer.
Offense, number 70. 10-yard penalty. Replay second down.
Ryan Day's getting frustrated because, again, it's these penalties that are stopping the offense more than Texas is.
And that's something we've not seen against Oregon or against Tennessee. Up at the top of your screen, see him, he gets his body turned and just grabs a hold of the Texas defender and brings him down.
So once again, it backs him up for a second and very long. This is the 3rd time they've been in this situation, a major penalty.
And all the previous 2, they've not been able to convert. They've had to kick it away.
Four-man rush. Howard across the middle, high. G. Scott collects it, takes a shot, and gets knocked down. They get a chunk of about 7 yards back. Maurice Blackwell is an excellent special teams player. Made the tackle there. 3rd down and 13 now.
You notice when Texas blitzes, it's what we call zone blitz or simulated pressure. They blitz, but they play zone behind it. They're bringing that extra guy. They'll drop a defensive end in the flat, just trying to create some confusion on that offensive line and the pass protection. And that time got a little pressure on Will Howard.
Smith to the left. Abuka has been the weapon of choice on these 3rd down conversions, and there's another penalty.
I think the left guard who's in right now, Luke Montgomery, started to fall back. They may have caught that. 51.
kind of rotates in, taking Shabola, starts at guard, but
Ball
they've used kind of a committee
offense,
of
number
guards.
51.
Yeah.
5-yard penalty.
He's
third
actually
down.
brought a little bit of juice. I think they've always thought he could play, but I think they've been really impressed with the way he's performed. Right in the middle of your screen, just kind of losing his balance there. Another penalty sets Ohio State back even further at 3rd and 18.
Howard scanning, throwing downfield, and going up to make the catch is Tate on the sidelines. But those penalties, again, just set him too far back. They pick up 15, but here comes the punt team.
So to the opposite side, Jeremiah Smith bracketed. 2 guys just saying, listen, we're not going to give him a chance to throw one of those balls up and let 4 with his size go up and make a play. Force him to go the other side. They convert. They make they don't convert. They make the completion, but you can see short of the first down. So again, that Texas strategy works, and the penalty aids them.
Ohio State 4 penalties, all on the offense so far. So Texas hanging around. The best pass-catching weapon, not in the game. Down 7, but not out of it, which is saying something against Ohio State. Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear, celebrating 100 years of an American icon, the Goodyear blimp. Texas football 5:22 before the break here in Arlington.
We're back in Arlington, where Texas is still certainly within striking distance, but without their best deep threat, Matthew Golden. You see where he was injured. His left ankle is what they've been looking at. He went into the locker room. He's come back out. He does have his helmet, as you can see. He's been trying to raise up as much as he can on that ankle, doing some calf raises, but in a pivotal moment, he's still on the sideline.
Texas just one big play, Kirk, as we were talking about, from perhaps breaking this game open and changing it around, but he's the guy most likely to be involved in that, and he's over there holding his helmet as they work the ball to Isaiah Bond, he's got great speed. He's just kind of getting back to health himself.
Yeah, he missed the game against Clemson and had 22 snaps in the game against Arizona State. You see Golden, who's been their go-to target. You got Bolden, you got Bond, and you got Ryan Wingo, might be the most talented receiver they have, the true freshman out of St. Louis. But I'll tell you what it does, it puts more on Wisner and Blue. You can throw the ball to them out of the backfield. They've got to be your game changers out of that backfield.
Blue in the pistol here certainly does have electric speed, and takes the pitch and crunches forward for a first down before Igmanosom got him down to get the drive going.
Yeah, you know, we've seen Blue and Wisner in space. It doesn't just have to be in Sark's offense handing the football off to him. Now, they want to run the ball because it opens up play action and the run-pass option opportunities for Ewers. But don't forget, 26 and 23 are dynamic game breakers.
Wisner in the game now. Gets the football, and Wisner spun down by Downs. That's a solid first down. You call that a win on first down in Texas?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, the fact that they've got a little bit of movement there, the way Ohio State's been playing downhill, those defensive linemen are pinching, trying to take the interior run away. Linebackers flying downhill, safeties flying downhill. Ohio State not fearing anything at all downfield in this offense so far.
Wisner far to the left. Ewers thought of it, a downfield shot, and will take one. DeAndre Moore caught up. Again, Texas fans looking for a flag from Hancock, but there isn't one.
Well, Hancock's off at about 10 to 12 yards and just waiting for that potential shot. So what they do is they're looking in the backfield, waiting to see. It was an empty look, so there's no fear at all of any kind of play action fear. So they're anticipating the ball either coming out fast or downfield, and Hancock that time did a great job of giving himself a cushion against Moore.
Third down again, they need 5. Buckeyes still making adjustments when the snap came, and Ewers across the middle, it's dropped. Would have been a first down, but Isaiah Bond, who got hurt against Georgia in the SEC championship game, he said he's been a little bit rusty.
Yeah.
Very catchable ball.
Chris, he did the hard part. Watch 7. He does a good job of separating, and then why does he jump? We've seen these college receivers from time to time. There's no need to jump. It affects your eyes. It affects your ability to be balanced and locate the football. No need to jump, and that cost him a catch and a first down.
As good as this Ohio State defense has been playing, you've got to take every opportunity that you can create. And that was a big one to get a first down, perhaps get some momentum. Instead, the drop, they punted away, and now Ohio State has 3:23 to work with, trying to build the lead before halftime.
Boy, Bond did the hard part. That pressure, man-to-man, did a great job with a good move outside, back to the inside, was open. Protection gave him a chance to step up. Ball was thrown right on the money, and for whatever reason, he felt the need to go airborne. And like I said, it affects his focus and his ability to bring down that reception.
A couple of times, Texas receivers had their hands on the football. In one case, it was Helm. It was knocked loose by a great play, and that was just a flat drop. Ohio State trying to clean up the penalties as they go back to work. Haven't scored since that opening possession. Judkins, nowhere to run, turns back into the middle, and he'll be knocked down at the line of scrimmage by Lole.
If you go back at halftime, and I know you're probably going to watch recent guys, but if you go back and watch that first drive, and you see the way Judkins was running, and you see the physicality of Ohio State, I think all of us thought, uh-oh, might be another one of those games. And then Texas has settled into this game, still with a too-high safety look to take the shots away downfield. But boy, they're becoming more physical and more confident at the line of scrimmage these last few drives.
Knew they'd have to stop the run with what's called a light box. Ball batted at the line of scrimmage. That was Colin Simmons who got a piece of it and falls to the turf. 3rd and 10 now.
Well, he's got such length. What a freshman year. You look at all the true freshmen that are out there. These guys are playing more and more. 11 out of Duncanville, 6'3", 245. That left hand goes up to knock that ball away. Will Howard's a big guy at 6'5". He still was able to get up, climb the ladder, and knock it away.
Texas players on the bench trying to get the crowd on their feet, make some noise. Longhorns trying to get the football back before the break and try to erase this lead. Pressure comes. Howard sacked for the first time, and just the second time in the last 6 games. Sorrell and Hill, 2 elite players combined.
Well, Chris, I think Will Howard saw finally a look that he didn't have that. It shows to safety, and then they come down, so he got what he wanted. A chance to get the ball to Jeremiah Smith. Look at his head. He sees it. He wants it. But by the time he wants to unload, Texas does a good job of staying in front of Jeremiah Smith. It made him hesitant, and eventually the blitz got to Will Howard. Good job again by Texas defense.
Anthony Hill, just a warrior. He played 88 snaps against Arizona State. Sun Devils ran more than 105 plays. You count penalties in that double overtime, and number 0 was out there almost the entire game. Makes a play there, and Texas will get the football back. This is the 2-minute timeout. This was a key play early in the game. Trevion Henderson thought it was Friday Night Fights, I guess. Boom, goes the left hand there, and that was a 15-yard penalty. Before that, Buckeye offense was clicking. Since then, that kind of started the trend of penalties on offense.
Yeah, penalties, and I think Texas gaining some confidence. I think that's been a big thing. We talked about the line of scrimmage, how they've been playing much better. Anthony Hill, one of the great leaders of this defense, getting in there to come up with that sack.
Each team has punted in their last 4 possessions. McGuire kicks it, and Bolden comes up, and Texas finally has some good field position. They had not started better than their own 25 in this game.
I got something coming up. Something kind of big.
Lynn Powell is Chad Powers, new face of the series produced by Elaine Peyton Manning. It's on Hulu this fall. By the way, Powers, a Texas graduate. He got a well wishes from Sark in the video.
Yeah.
Got him all pumped up. He's no doubt looking in tonight.
No doubt.
From the 41, Texas finally with good field position. Let's see if they can make something happen here. Wisner, nothing in the middle on first down.
Remember, Ohio State gets the ball to start the second half. This is a big opportunity for Texas here with 3 timeouts, minute 30 and counting. Not in a huge rush at all.
Talked about the magical scripting abilities of Sarkisian. He's off the script now.
Yep.
Kind of probing, trying to see what he's picked up from those early plays. But it's an Ohio State that's confusing Ewers pretty effectively. Pressure comes again, and he just has to throw it away. Sonny Styles one more time, got in his face.
Yep, doing a good job again of disguising there, moving around. Jack Sawyer, Sonny Styles moving around. The line did a pretty good job of communicating and giving him time, but giving Ohio State credit on the back end. Nobody open at all.
The longer Ewers holds the ball, the worse it gets. He has not made an effective play when he's had to pat the ball and hold it, has he?
No, it's just not his thing. Like I said, if they can run the ball, it sets up play action and RPO. But if he has to sit back there, it's tough for that offensive line and tough for him.
It gets tough on 3rd and 10. Pressure comes. It is picked up. Ewers has a chance to scramble. Doesn't slide. Lowers the shoulder right near the marker at the 49. That is the quarterback committing.
Wow. You know, he looked to his left to look at the marker and then accelerated, knew that he was going to take on a big collision.
Where they've got the ball spotted, it would be a first down, but they may take a look at this. Bill LaMagna says the replay needs to check and see if Ewers did in fact get to the Ohio State 49.
Chris, watch his head. He decides to pull this ball down. There's the blitz. He's got some room. Watch his head. He looks left. He realizes, I got a shot. I'm going to have to go right at Caleb Downs and Sonny Styles. There he is. Where's that marker? I know where I got to go. I'm going to lean into this. Oh, he's short with that knee.
Yeah, the knee hits when the ball is right at midfield. That would put it a yard short and make it 4th down.
Sure would. Big decision. We saw Sark go for it. There's the look. Got to applaud that effort. This guy's playing to win. You're taking on 2 of the best on that back end for the Buckeyes, and Styles and Downs. They're going to move this ball, as you said, Chris, back a yard to right at midfield.
Normally you want a quarterback to slide, but Ewers knows he's playing his former team. It's a semifinal game. They've had a hard time getting anything going. No sliding.
Well, the big question now is minute 1. You got 3 timeouts for Texas. You're at midfield. The thought is you go for this the way he did early. The difference is you don't get it. You're giving the ball to Will Howard, who gets the ball to start the second half at midfield. With the weapons that he has, as good as your defense has played, I know Sark's aggressive. I know that's his style.
You saying you'd punt it if it was your choice?
It's not just a short one. It's a long one here. So if you've come this far in the season. You've been aggressive all year. It'd be unlike him to punt it.
Do you put in Arch Manning maybe? If you do go for it, do you bring in the young quarterback who's been a situational player, often used in these kind of short yardage or goal line situations?
He's right there, yeah. And this doesn't look like a guy that's punting. I mean, he's got all hands on deck. He's being very clear with what they want. Arch is right in the middle of that pile. Again, the Buckeyes get the ball to start the second half. That's very important when you think about this decision.
Your defense has been playing better if you're Sarkisian, but you're right. This could turn momentum back Ohio State's way.
The line to gain at the 50-yard line.
Chris, you're all over it. Arch, look, he's getting his hands. Yeah, here he comes.
How tough is this? Come in cold in a crucial play.
Yeah. 111.
Give me a couple toe touches. Get his hammies loosened up because he's running the football.
He's a beautiful thrower of the football. It would be unexpected if they let him throw it here. Where he's lined up, about 6 yards behind the line of scrimmage. They need a full yard here on 4th down. Can Manning deliver? Running right, makes a cut, first down, Texas. He lost the ball at the end, but he's ruled down. Little trickery. Gunnar Helm ran up like he was going to get under center, and he snapped it to Manning in the shotgun.
Right through his legs.
Yeah.
Everybody thought, okay, well, the tight end's coming in. He's going to just take the snap, and he's going to do a quarterback sneak, which they've done at times this year. And instead, they snap it right through his legs, right to Arch Manning. And then Arch right here, he's down. That leg, the left leg is down, and then the ball came out.
Ohio State fans pointing at the screen, thinking that this is a chance to be a turnover. Did he lose control before he hits? It's close.
That is close. That view made it look a lot closer.
Lathan Ransom was there trying to punch the ball out. Tyleik Williams did make the recovery, so if it is replay does reverse it, Bill Lamagna, this could be Ohio State football. There was a quick recovery. What do you think?
I think he's still got firm control of the ball at the front. Knees down. They got to stay with this.
Down, right. Keep rolling, guys.
Well,
the elbow.
What about right here, Bill, that hand?
The forearm?
Back of the hand.
Once you're past the wrist, you're down.
Got it.
Okay, was the forearm down or the knee down? You say he's right here. He's got control of the ball, in your opinion.
In my opinion, I don't have any indisputable evidence to say he doesn't. I got him down.
Scott is the replay. But again, it would have to be indisputable to change the call.
Yes, correct.
But how about that wrinkle? I mean, you snap it through the wickets there.
Yeah.
They've done this before.
Yep.
But you better hope you practice that sharply to execute it in a huge moment like that.
And like we said, we've seen Gunnar Helm take those snaps, and I think Ohio State's defense, they pinched down expecting the big tight end to take this. Watch this defense expecting this sneak, and it's a smart play. Now you get out on the edge, you got a couple blockers, and they give him the first down. And agree with Bill, he was down.
Ryan Day was still over there pleading his case, but Texas has the ball at the 42.
Still have the 2 timeouts.
By far their most dangerous drive. Ewers from the pocket delivers the throw. Catch made by Silas Bolden, who's still going. Silas Bolden, slippery and speedy, got out of the tackle of Denzel Burke. Picks up 24. They're in the red zone.
And one-on-one, you got to make a play. You're going to get a catch right here. You're going to be able to make this tackle right there. What an effort. We've been saying with Matthew Golden down, who's the guy that's going to step up and make a play? This time it's Silas Bolden. What a job there of fighting for those yards.
Bolden's made big impacts as a returner. We talked about that. His first catch tonight. Sets up the horns in the red zone. Ewers projected. Tried to flip it back, and Kenyatta Jackson, who stepped in for JT Tuimoloau, batted that one down.
What a play, because if he doesn't get his hands up, that's the Sark screen, that throwback screen that he is, really, it's legendary. You're trying to get the defense to think the ball's going one way, he's rolling that way. Meanwhile, the offensive line are leaking out in front. He had a convoy in front of him and only 2 Ohio State defenders. At the very least, that's a big gain. Great job by Kenyatta Jackson.
6'6", long-armed Floridian. And now timeout spent by Ryan Day on defense. Well, you're wondering, what would it take for Texas to get going? Good field position helped at the start of this drive.
Yep.
Then the trickery on 4th and 1. Manning picked up about 8 yards on that 4th and 1 run. And then Bolden breaking a tackle. Mercedes-Benz halftime report. Reese, Dez, and Nick Saban. Highlights from the first half. Eager to get Coach Saban's analysis, what he's seen in the first 30.
Yep. There's Dez. Eager to get Dez's analysis. And there's Coach Saban. 34 seconds. In Texas, you still have the 2 timeouts. Remember that the tight end Gunnar Helm in this area has been huge for Texas in the red zone. You've got Moore, who's more than capable. Ryan Wingo, 5, the big freshman who's 6'5". He's going to be down here at the boundary near the bottom of your screen. You got to win a one-on-one matchup if you're going to score a touchdown down here.
Golden and Isaiah Bond out of the game in this 2nd and 10. Buckeyes are showing some pressure. Don't bring it. And Ewers to the end zone. Touchdown! Jaden Blue. And the Longhorns strike late first half from 18 yards out. Hang around, get some help from penalties, and all of a sudden, semifinal game's going to be dead even.
Just said, who's going to win in a one-on-one situation? Man-to-man. Ohio State leaves they give confidence in their corners and their linebackers to be able to hold up in man-to-man, and Sark dials up a wheel route, and Ewers puts it right on the money.
Sarkisian makes a change at kicker. This is Will Stone, has been a kickoff specialist for 3 years. But the struggles of Bert Auburn, those 2 late misses against ASU, And now it's Stone's job for the moment. 7 apiece.
And Chris, we talked about with Golden down, who's going to be able to make the play. Here's our AT&T collective cam, or what is it?
Connected cam.
There you go, connected cam. So watch what they do in sneaking out. It's a one-on-one matchup, and he's just going to slide him out of the backfield. I think he feels confident with the ability to try to get this matchup. We said who will make a play. We need these running backs, if you're Texas, to be able to make the play. And a really smart job here by Sark isolating Sonny Styles, who's had a great first half, and getting Blue, who's got great ability to be a receiver out of the backfield. See how he separates. There's a play for Texas. They've been waiting to see who would be the guy, and it's number 23.
Don't know if anybody in the country uses their running backs as receivers better than Texas. 75 combined catches for Wisner and Blue. They haven't had a big night tonight, but all of a sudden, Ewers and that O-line feeling it a little bit.
No doubt. Boy, what a job Texas defense has done to be able to keep them in the game. The Ohio State penalties have helped them on that side. And then Texas took advantage of that great field position. The 4th down call with Arch Manning, and they get a one-on-one matchup, and they make Ohio State pay for it.
Next Monday, January 20th, Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. National championship game. Pre-game coverage, I think, virtually from sunrise, maybe until kickoff. A lot of platforms, TV, digital, radio. So many ways to watch Ohio State or Texas take on Notre Dame. You can attend the CFP National Championship game with Playoff Premium, official premium hospitality program. You get suite, you get tickets, premier seating, meet and greet with Kirk. I threw that in. That's not on the card. It might happen. PlayoffPremium.com to book today. You get Peter, Herb Street's going to be there. Throw that in, too.
Hey, if you throw that in, they're all in.
Howard, how aggressive will they be in the final seconds? Henderson can make a house call from anywhere. And look out! He just might do it! Travian Henderson gets momentum back for Ohio State. 75 yards. Wow. Just like that, Kirk. One play, Texas had battled, got momentum. Ohio State erases all that.
What a job. We wondered, would they be aggressive? They set up a screen. Just 3 or 4 Ohio State offensive linemen out in front. And Travion Henderson, who had that penalty, and it kind of changed the complexion of the first half, has a chance to avenge that mistake and comes up with a massive play and shows how electrifying he can be in this Ohio State offense.
We talked about that at the top. Redemption has been the theme in the CFP. There's some individual redemption. He's a captain of this team, a leader. You don't expect him to make a mistake like that. PAT just got inside the left upright. And as you said, 75-yard, one-play touchdown drive, just like he had in the Rose Bowl.
And watch Texas bring everybody. They drop everybody else deep. So once he gets his ball off, look at the running start that these offensive linemen have. I mean, they don't have anybody for 25 yards. They're waiting to block somebody, and he's just kind of baiting the defense. It's almost like a punt return. He's waiting to see where the crease was, set up the blocks, and then with his ability, he hits that crease. Nobody's going to catch number 32.
Career long play for Henderson. It ties his career long and the longest play that Texas has given up this year. And Ryan Day not quite running as fast as his running back, but he's downfield quickly.
He's trying. Remember, Ohio State gets the ball back in the second half. There's 29 seconds left. Texas had the momentum. They had the energy. And the screen pass to the house changes everything.
Talked about how much Texas used their running backs in the pass game. Ohio State does it too, but they really hadn't had, Kirk, a lot of electric long plays. They're kind of some short workmanlike gains, keep drives going. Nothing like that really all season.
No, and you go back to what Ryan Day and Chip Kelly told us. We're not necessarily going to be able to get the shots downfield. We're going to have to do it after the catch, right? And there's another example of having to, of being able to do that after the catch.
It's felt like this field has been actually tilted Texas just having to work so hard to get anything going on offense. Really impressive drive. We kind of detailed what it took for them to get the ball into the end zone, and the lead lasted one play. And now Henderson has put Ohio State up, and Texas, when we resume playing the third quarter, it's the pressure back on that defense, not to let the lead get bigger.
It is, and again, they've made some adjustments. We saw adjustments made last night in the other semifinal game. It was a game where they were feeling each other out. Notre Dame made the adjustments that they needed to make to get their offense going. And now we get a chance to see how Ryan Day in Ohio State and Sark in Texas make the adjustments based on what they learned in this first half. But, man, what a change of an entire feel after the score by Texas and then the quick answer by the Buckeyes.
It's a short field goal, and it's Gunnar Helm retreating to make the fair catch. So with just 13 seconds, and I think that Sarkisian will hand it off, get into the locker room. And again, Texas fans have just gotten excited. This place is kind of going crazy. They have the crowd edge, and Henderson said, I'm going to sit right back down and quiet down, folks.
Yeah. Did you see Will Anderson was talking to one of the linemen about, hey, I was just trying to get it over top. And once he made that throw, at the very least, you're thinking that they could maybe get the ball for 20 or 30 yards. Like I said, those linemen had a running start. Should mention also Emeka Egbuka and other receivers downfield doing a great job. Anytime you see a big play like that, the receivers are involved in blocking.
And trying to make something happen before halftime. Weisner rips off a gain. Texas 7 seconds to go.
Yeah, they get 2 timeouts. So you just use one here. Gives them 1 timeout with 7 seconds. They got a shot to get into field goal range here with that 1 timeout left.
Remember Henderson his freshman year? He came up with a lot of hype, and it was against Minnesota. He caught like a 70-yard touchdown pass his freshman year as his first career touchdown. I think was out of the passing game, and that kind of raised expectations even more that he was going to have a monster career.
Trevion Henderson, you got to remember on the back end of a back like J.K. Dobbins. I mean, he was such a talented and such a great player for Ohio State, and some great runs that those Buckeye teams that he was a part of. Trevion Henderson came in and made Ohio State fans think, boy, here comes the next great back. He had a huge freshman year, over 1,200 yards, and then he dealt with some injuries and just some mindset things that he worked through. Talked to you about that in the Tennessee game.
Yep.
He's come full circle, completely in a different headspace, playing with such different confidence, and you saw it on that play right there.
Got to get the ball downfield, maybe 30 yards, and get a quick timeout if they're going to have a field goal chance. Flag comes in, and it was Wingo who was grabbed down to 2 seconds.
Igbenogsen's had an issue with holding and pass interference all year, and they got him again here.
Holding, defense, number 1. 10-yard penalty, automatic first down.
He's got talent, but one of the issues he has, he's a bit of a guesser, and he gets out of position. When he gets out of position, he's forced to do this. Grab onto these receivers. They're going by him. Rangy, 6'2", 193-pound junior, the transfer from Ole Miss, second year with Ohio State.
Not that damaging, actually, because it runs the clock down to 2 seconds.
Yep.
And Texas is going to have to just take a shot at the end zone now. Had they been able to make a completion, get out of bounds there, you could think about perhaps a long field goal.
Yep.
They've made the change. Will Stone is their kickoff specialist and has good range. No, he hasn't attempted a field goal in his career, but moot point now. With the
not from 70. He's not going to punch one from 70.
He's got the air conditioning in his back, though, going this way. Well, eventful last couple of minutes here. Touchdowns on back-to-back plays. And the lead back where it was for most of this first half. It's 7 for Ohio State.
There's the big fella.
Yeah, Bevo gets to make the trip here. Not every building in these neutral site games welcome the big fella, but 3 hours away, Dallas.
Yeah, if anybody's going to welcome him in, it's
if
Jerry's.
They win, I don't know if Bevo is going to be Atlanta bound.
I don't know.
He wasn't before.
Oh,
at the peak.
right. That's right.
Ewers, final play of the half, tries to make something happen by launching just short of the goal line, and it's going to be broken up. 2 Buckeyes got in each other's way. Malik Hartford says, "What are you doing?" Sonny Styles came over, and it's no interception. But Ohio State will head to the locker room up 7, getting the football to begin the third quarter. And let's hear from Ryan Day with Holly.
Well, Coach, Travion Henderson, an uncharacteristic mistake with the personal foul. How did he regain some trust back on that last play call and run?
Well, he's been around for a long time, so we trust him, and he can't let his emotions get out of whack right here. We knew this was going to be a battle. We knew it was going to go into the second half, so did a nice job here of winning the end of the first half. Now we got to win the middle eight here by coming out with a great drive in the second half.
Thank you so much, Coach. Let's go to Laura with Sark.
All right, thanks, Holly. Sark, back and forth momentum at the end of the first half. How do you get more offense going in the second half?
Well, the field position helped. We were backed up there a few times. We had an opportunity the first drive, didn't convert the fourth down. Got some field position, found some momentum. It's unfortunate on the screen. We've been playing really good defense in the first half. The screen hit us, but it's a lot of football left to be played.
Thanks, Sark. Chris.
They got to reverse a strong trend. They've been a terrible third quarter team. Haven't scored a third quarter touchdown the last 6 games. Outscored in the second half. Every game since Red River. 7-point game at halftime. Mercedes-Benz halftime report. You're watching the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic on ESPN.
Welcome to the Mercedes-Benz halftime report.
One spot remaining in the national championship game. The winner between Ohio State and Texas goes on to face off with Notre Dame, and Ohio State with a 14-7 lead after a wild last half minute of this first half. Reese Davis, Nick Saban, and Desmond Howard here. Ohio State throughout this playoff has jumped to early leads and kept their foot on the throat. Yeah. And really, it looked like they had an opportunity to do this real momentum-changing play in the first half.
They really did. I mean, they came out, drove them into the field, and they scored when they got the ball from Texas. But then they shot themselves in the foot with 2 big penalties. The first one, a personal foul, unsportsmanlike conduct against a veteran running back, Travion Henderson, and that made it 2nd and 24. They end up having to punt the ball to Texas. Texas started to get a little confidence at that point, and then a big holding call too on this drive right here that made it 2nd and 20 again. They had to punt the ball, and Texas defense started to gain a lot of momentum and a lot of confidence too.
Yeah, there was actually 3 drives stopped by penalties, which was unfortunate for Ohio State because they really had the momentum of the game. But the way this half ended, you know, you think Texas scores with
29 seconds
or whatever. But this play right here is, if you're going to go 2 minutes at the end of the half, it's a screen or a draw that's going to start with. So Texas pressures, which really puts you vulnerable to the screen. And they hit the big play and actually got the momentum back. So it'll be interesting to see how they respond in the second half.
And the entire story for Ohio State in this playoff has been redemption. After the Michigan loss, they answered. And then the microcosm, Henderson gets that penalty and then makes a gargantuan play to seize momentum back for the Buckeyes. His backfield mate, Quinshon Judkins, had a little fire breathing as well as Judkins went in. Buckeyes up by 7. Second half adjustments to come back.
This halftime report is presented by Mercedes-Benz.
Buckeyes get the ball to start the second half. 14-7. Ohio State is up. Nick, what adjustments?
Well, I think we mentioned the penalties and how Ohio State actually shot themselves in the foot. Yeah. They got to eliminate those penalties. They played a pretty clean first half. I think the whole thing for Texas is, can they continue to run the ball to create positive third down situations? They're 1 for 7 on third down offensively. They got to get off the field on third down on defense by playing more man-to-man. If they can't guard these guys, they can't win, but they can't play zone and let them have first down.
Yeah, you're looking at Texas offense, only average 2.1 yards per carry. They have to stick to the run. Right now, Jim Knowles is trying to convince Sarkisian, you can't run against my defense. It's imperative that Sarkisian does not concede that point and become one-dimensional. They're going to have to run the ball, and then we always talked about this. Don't give up the explosive. They give up the huge explosive right before halftime. Outside of that, the defense has been playing very well.
And you know what? Texas hasn't done that all year. That was the longest play the Longhorns have surrendered all season. That 75-yard touchdown on the screen to Travion Henderson. But Texas came through. They converted a fourth down, putting Arch Manning into the game. And then Quinn Ewers back and paid it off, just dropping a beautiful teardrop to Jaden Boo. That tied the game for a moment, 7-point lead for the Buckeyes at the break.
You're watching the Mercedes-Benz Halftime Report.
College football playoff bracket brought to you by AT&T. Notre Dame awaits the winner. 30 minutes at least to go here. Ohio State up by 7. What player keeping the closest eye on the second half, Desmond?
It would be Ohio State's exceptional edge rusher, number 44, JTT. He went out in the second quarter with an ankle injury. He was on the sideline trying to work his way back into the game. Want to see if he's able to start in the third quarter or not. If he's not, I'm really curious to see if Sarkisian, who loves the outside zone runs, if they'll attack his replacement if he's not able to go.
Well, I would have told all the coaches in the coaching meeting that we have, that we have to control the line of scrimmage because we got to protect the quarterback, which means we're going to have to run the ball and be physical if we're Texas, but you got to do the same thing if you're Ohio State. So it's which quarterback can play best in the second half based on how the players around him play.
Both guys, both Will Howard and Quinn Ewers, certainly had their moments. 14-7, Ohio State has the lead. Time now for our road to the championship, presented by Mercedes-Benz. And sometimes you get those new fancy Mercedes and they can hit high gear, just like Travion Henderson did, rolling on the open road. The engine purring. Buckeyes up by 7. Second half not far away.
This halftime report is presented by Mercedes-Benz.
At Ohio State, we are the never afraid to innovate teams, the agile get-it-done teams, the bold breakthrough teams, and the improve people's lives teams. The more than 10,000 strong research teams. Together, we are the Ohio State University.
There's never been a path to a national championship like this. And in the end, one team will have done something no team has ever done. The College Football Playoff National Championship. Monday, January 20th, 7:30 p.m. on ESPN.
You're watching a special presentation of ESPN, home of the College Football Playoff National Championship game, presented by AT&T.
Welcome to the College Football Playoff semifinal at the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic.
Now it's Ohio State and Texas tonight.
Judkins scores!
He runs physical.
Buckeyes with a set.
Dialing up this pressure.
Texas hanging around, not out of it. Set for the second half, the College Football Playoff semifinal of the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic. Ohio State will get the football, 7-point lead. Chris Fowler, Kirk Herbstreit back with you. Take a look at the Ram Trucks first half stats. Neither team doing a whole lot on the ground. Ohio State's offense got going. Those 5 penalties were important. And the pass rush really for Ohio State. That should be 3 sacks for Ohio State in their column. That I think was one of the dominant stories of the first half.
Yeah, and how big was that play with Travion Henderson?
75, yeah.
75 yards. He had 200 yards passing, so really 125 until that play. I think Texas made some great adjustments, doing everything they can. They're trying to kind of bob and weave here as a boxer, try to get into the late rounds and see if you can find a way to win this game. But how does that defense, the adjustments you try to make against this awfully gifted Ohio State team as they get the ball to start this second half?
Bobbing and weaving is better than getting knocked out cold in the first couple rounds, which is what Ohio State
it was like a Mike Tyson, Trevor Burbick the last 2.
Yeah. Stone. I wonder if he'll have an opportunity to make a pressure field goal as he is going to take over that responsibility tonight. Capital One rewarding performance. There's that touchdown.
Yeah, look, we talked about how they had a 15-yard run. It's, like I said, almost a punt return. He's just kind of weaving his way, setting blocks up. He's so dangerous when he gets his hands on the football. What a smart move by Chip Kelly. Just why not? With just 29 seconds left, why not get the ball into his hands and with Texas dropping those linebackers. Everybody's dropping just in case there's a shot downfield, and it timed up perfectly with that screen to Trevion Henderson.
They've had to work tonight, haven't they? It looked almost too easy for Ohio State offensively early against Tennessee and Oregon. Howard on the move, pressure closing in, but it's Ibuka running free across the middle. Makes the catch, first down at the 44.
Boy, did Texas go with the action that time. He ran with Trevion Henderson. That deep, look at him going all in the wrong direction. He goes naked the other way, and that second level there to Ibuka with the rest of the defense taking that short receiver.
Ball spotted at the 38. Fourth catch for Ibuka. Smith with just the one catch for 3 yards. They've done a good job defending him, and they haven't forced the ball to him. We'll see if that changes in the second half. Nice gain for Henderson of 7.
Well, again, what Texas has done is they have put safeties over top of Jeremiah Smith. They got a corner up tight on him, made it tough for him to be able to get free. At some point, you know that Chip Kelly and Will Howard will say, regardless of the coverage, let's give the kid a chance to make a play. But give Texas credit, sitting back, keeping everything in front, not giving up those big plays yet as far as the ball being thrown downfield.
Downhill in the Texas territory with the first down is Henderson running hard as he continues to be a force in this game off that pass you just showed. Close out the first half.
And there's the numbers. You can see what he did against Tennessee and Oregon. The 4 touchdowns tonight. Just a 3 yards receiving. That's the answer to a team that's going to sit back. You got to win the line of scrimmage. You got to run the football.
Play action. Howard looking downfield. Pressure closing in, and he throws a pick. They got near him. The throw was influenced, and David Benda with the first takeaway tonight for Texas. They're set up at the 30.
I think he predetermined what to do here. He was so excited to finally get a chance to throw this football that I think he just doesn't really think about the shot of the linebacker sinking. Give Texas credit for sinking and anticipating that potential throw, because you know they want to eventually try to find a way to get the ball to Jeremiah Smith. But the veteran Benda, good job of getting in that passing lane. Heck of an athletic move there by the linebacker to go up and make the play. But I'm telling you, Will Howard, he wants to get the ball to number 4, and that time he forced it.
Big assist to Trey Moore, who had a monster game against the Sun Devils, closed in, and now Texas looked like maybe they were going to fall farther behind in that possession. Suddenly, the mojo back, they get 10.
That's a good job again. Quick pass, just get your athletes. We keep talking about how they're running backs with Golden still not out there. They're the playmakers. They can do as much damage as anybody at receiver.
Delayed handoff. Wisner smacked, got off the tackle of Tuimoloau, who's back in the game. Picks up just a yard. Ransom eventually got him down.
Tuimoloau showing a lot of heart. You know, he had that ankle missed. You know, when Texas scored, he was not out there on the field. So it's good to see him wrapped up and trying to gut it out here in this second half. See how that ankle holds up. He and Sawyer have just been a dynamic duo in this postseason for the Buckeyes, both against Tennessee and against Oregon.
Matthew Golden still without his helmet on the sidelines. Texas's top wide receiver. Second and long. Wisner had to dodge traffic in the backfield. Takes a loss. Tuimoloau off the edge. It'll be third and long.
Well, Chris, as you and Kirk have talked about, Matthew Golden, the key deep threat for this Texas offense, still on the sideline. He came out of halftime, tried to run full speed. He was jumping up and down, kept shaking his head no when athletic trainers were asking him if he felt like he could go. We'll continue to keep an eye on him.
It's a big third down. They were 1 of 7 in the first half on third downs.
Ewers flips it short. Wisner, a lot of work to do. He's going to get nowhere near the marker. Cody Simon closed him down, and the Buckeyes defense got to stop.
Boy, it's what a luxury to get that kind of pressure, to make Ewers feel that kind of pass rush with just rushing forward. Allows you to sit back and play zone, sink in coverage, take any threats away. They'll get him to the sticks, force him to check the ball down.
You talk about getting him off the spot, right? You don't have to necessarily hit him, but he had to move his feet to the right.
Exactly right. Yep.
Cody Simon, who is the key man in the middle of that Ohio State defense, top tackler, one of those veterans, graduate, number 0 being looked at. He is the guy on defense that opponents key in on. You've got to find a way to deal with number 0. He made every play possible in the Rose Bowl, defensive MVP.
Yeah. You see Ryan Day look at him, you all right? And he must have given him a nod. Yeah, I'm good. And Ryan Day's like, okay, we're good to go. He walks away.
Kind of poking at that left knee momentarily. Yeah. 6 tackles this afternoon for Simon, head-to-head. Collided with big Tyleik Williams, came over and.
Yeah, big is right, 330 pounds. Tyleik Williams running full speed right into him. Friendly fire, head-to-head.
Innes in to return the punt of Michael Kerner, boots it high, and Innes retreats and makes a fair catch at the 12. Throughout the CFP, Taco Bell bringing the best of the regular season to the playoff by creating the Live Más student section, providing tickets for students from both schools. Precious tickets to come to the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic tonight. Texas campus about 3 hours away. Ohio State students more than willing to make the trip from Columbus down here.
Used to that snow, no issue.
They didn't seem bothered by walking around today.
Not at all.
Hoodies under the jerseys, ready to go.
Ready to roll, let's do it.
Howard's got to shake off his first interception tonight. They hand it off to Ibuka on the end around. Texas strings it out and knocks him down right about the line of scrimmage.
Noticing that they're coming up with a few wrinkles. Pete Kwiatkowski, the defensive coordinator, who talked about how he wants to put a lot of that too high safety look to try to keep everything in front. That time he showed that pre-snap, but got a little bit more aggressive. Did a nice job with Michael Tapp hiding it until he came down late.
Howard throws across the middle, and catch is made by Kazmarek, who's knocked down near the marker. Kwiatkowski and Knowles, you got 2 very smart, bearded defensive coordinators. They do it different ways. They're a little quirky, and I say that with affection. Their staff mates would say so. There's Knowles over there in the hat, but
I think
really sharp.
And we all just kind of. Al Golden, another guy, boy, what a job he did last night.
Yep.
With his defense, been doing it all year.
He's got to grow a beard, though, if he's going to join.
He's got some funky glasses. Maybe that helps.
It's just short, so 3rd and about a foot here. Play clock winding down. Pitch, Judkins. No, doesn't get there. Held up in traffic, and then David Benda, who stepped up again with a big play, along with Colin Simmons, and Texas forces a 3-and-out.
Boy, they did a great job of attacking. Obviously, it's short yardage. You're getting this look, and a good job of holding the edge here by Simmons. They just overloaded them, had more than they could block. That's the second time we've seen Benda in 2 series make a pivotal play for this Longhorn defense. Had the interception, and now comes up with that big tackle there on 3rd and short. Ohio
State, for all their power, is far from automatic on 3rd and short. They've actually struggled quite a bit this year in that area. Bolden retreats, makes the catch, but just has to skip out of bounds, and Texas will begin this drive from about the 33. Midway 3rd quarter, Longhorns fighting from behind all night. Still down 7. Big moment for the Buckeyes. Almost 10 years ago to the day, first year of the 4-team bracket, beat Alabama and then beat Oregon right here for the championship. All-State bus is here with Caesar piloting it. What's the All-State Good Hands play tonight so far?
Well, yeah, I think you have to look at the scoring that we've seen tonight. 3 touchdowns. Junkins got this game started well for Ohio State, running with an attitude. Texas finally gets on the board with that blue rail route out of the backfield. And then here, like Ohio State maybe just trying to get in the field goal range, and instead Henderson off the screen takes it to the house late in that first half to put them up by 7. Texas pretty good field position here compared to the rest of that first half. Let's see what they can do with the football here.
As a snap that didn't get done crisply, it'll be set it back 5 yards. Defense did their job. They had the takeaway. They had the stop on 3rd and short.
Number 65, 5-yard penalty, first down.
So they stabilized things, giving their offense a chance to battle back. Holly?
You guys, you can see that Cody Simon, the do-everything linebacker for Ohio State, is back in the game. I overheard him tell some teammates he was feeling a little instability in that left knee after it got hit. But they did jump on the iPad with his backup, Arvell Reese, who we are told is going to be very, very good. We'll see how long Cody can stay in. He looks good now.
Behind the 6 on first down, a dangerous throw because Hancock was lurking in the flat.
Boy, Hancock did a really good job here of not trying to worry about trying to get involved in run support. Watch the action in the backfield. He doesn't bite for it, stays in that throwing lane, and if that ball's thrown on the money, that ball's probably intercepted because of the position that Jordan Hancock put himself in. Good instincts there, good feel, not to bite down and try to get involved in that play action look.
2-back look, Blue and Wisner flanking Ewers. Now Blue goes in motion and Wisner runs to the left. That 5-yard penalty, uncharacteristic by Jake Majors to get the drive going, has just set him back, and now it's going to be 3rd and 11.
Yeah, tough defense to do that against. You know, anytime you, and he's a veteran. Again, like we've seen tonight, he's the senior. He's the guy, the glue up front, the communicator. Just made a little mistake, but it cost him 5 yards, got him behind the sticks. And again, it's not about Ewers. It's about will the offensive line be able to communicate and give him time to be able to throw.
That is the question right here as the Buckeyes rev up the pass rush and come after Ewers. And the answer is no. He flipped it at the last second. Wow, what a play. Wisner grabbed it. Was he down? Jack Sawyer pressured him. What an improvisational play by Ewers.
Chris, I think he got it out before the knee touched. We're definitely going to take another look at this. What a job, as you said. The blitz got to him. We thought Sawyer had him. And as he tries to get rid of it, boy, that's so close.
Underhand flip to Wisner. They're going to have to go frame by frame, right?
Previous plays.
Ball's out.
Yeah, the ball does look like. Bill, what do you think? The ball looked like it just got out.
I've got him releasing the ball prior to the knee touching. So I have it as a pass.
Bill, you watch the ball, I'll watch the knee. I'll tell you when that, you tell me when that ball's out.
Out.
Touch. I mean, that's how
bang,
close
bang, play.
That's how
I like
close
it.
we're talking.
I like this teamwork. That was good. I think the video supports it. This is not what he's known for. These improvisational plays under pressure.
Look at his eyes. It's like a last-ditch effort.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands as called.
Yeah, that's pure desperation. Look, the pass rush, you called it. The pass rush was closing in. He's been sacked already 3 times, and Sawyer thought he had number 4 against his former roommate at Ohio State.
Yeah, that's right. How great would that have been for them to talk about at some point when all the emotions settled down. But, man, if they go down to score on this drive, let's remember that play on that 3rd down, the effort and the improvisation there by Quinn Ewers.
Underhand flip, and Wisner was ready for it. Again, pressure. He has to step up and flips a wide pass. It's Blue who makes the first man, well, not quite miss. He couldn't quite get out of the tackle of Jermaine Matthews, but it's a solid gain into Ohio State territory.
Well, how about Hayden Connor, the job he has right here to be able to come out and make this block, pass protection. He's pulling out. He's got to be able to deal with that. Quinn Ewers is able to step underneath it to help him and just has enough time. That's pressure with just, again, 4 guys. Not a blitz. Zone behind it. Rush 4.
To the edge, DeAndre Moore ducks inside the tackle of Matthews, but stepping right up to get him down is Caleb Downs, and it's 3rd down now. Need about 4.
Caleb Downs has been the eraser for this Ohio State defense on that back end all year. does a good job coming up in support, those underneath throws and run support, and also such great instincts and feel in the passing game.
The runner-up to Jahdae Barrett in the voting for the Thorpe Award. Wisner, tough runner. When he's healthy, it makes a difference. He was a big force down the stretch of this season. First down.
I want you to watch the center. He works here and then comes back and makes a block. Watch 65, that block, and then that block right there gives him just enough in that crease to give that first down.
He's got it again, playing with some tempo, but this time he's going to be dropped for a loss of a couple of yards. Caleb Downs getting downhill again.
It's been the theme of the night. Jim Knowles has come in with an aggressive approach against the Steve Sarkisian attack. He likes to give you a lot of looks, a lot of pre-snap motion to make you slow down. Most teams get nervous with all that movement. Jim Knowles has gone the opposite direction. He's blitzing, he's attacking this offense.
How about the center defense? You get Downs right behind Simon, two elite players patrolling the middle. They get it to the edge instead, and Wisner collects the pass. It is knocked out near the marker by Sonny Styles. It'll be third down at about 1. Picked up 11 there.
We keep saying, like, who are the playmakers? Who do you get the ball to? It's got to be the backs. Wisner and Blue, they're so dangerous out of the backfield. By the way, as he was running down that left sideline, the freshman Ryan Wingo did a good job of coming off of the defender, almost a push in the back, blocking the back, but good job on a no call there by the official.
Buckeyes just get substitutes on. In time for this 3rd and 1, Wisner has the first down and falls forward inside the 30. That Texas O-line beginning to open some space now in the running game.
They sure are. And it's again Jake Majors and Hayden Connor, the center and the left guard. Good job of sealing that. Allowed the left guard Connor to get up. And the way Ohio State's played defense, they have dominated the line of scrimmage the last 2 games, and they've done much of the same tonight. But on this drive, Texas getting some push.
Wisner's got it again. Remember what a mighty struggle it's been for this talented offense to do anything in the 3rd quarter. No touchdowns in the last 6 games in this 3rd period, and there was urgency for Sarkisian to fix that problem tonight.
Yeah, you're right. And there's a look at Golden still down there. I don't know if he's ever going to come back, but he's still out there. And Chris,
he's waiting for overtime.
You never know. 3rd downs. They're on 1 of 8 coming into this drive. They're 3 of 3 on this drive.
Ewers on 2nd down in traffic, batted down, tried to flip it across the middle, and Tyleik Williams, another of those crucial bat downs that Ohio State's so good at.
330 pounds down. Just times that up. Gets his left hand to knock that football down, and then we get another 3rd down for Texas. Blue, remember we talked about the backs, they're typically involved in this pass game, and for now he's down at the bottom. Now he's coming back into the backfield.
Wonder if he's thinking 2 plays to get the 7. It depends on what they can do on this 3rd down play. Pressure comes, wide open is Blue, jukes, scores, Texas strikes again. That's 2 for Blue, this from 26.
Again, I got to keep going back to it. We keep talking about it. We just talked about Blue is out wide, put him back into the backfield, gave him a chance. It's the same play he scored the touchdown on. Just a rail route. Nobody picks him up. You know, he saw him beat Sonny Styles for a touchdown in the first half.
Will Stone, the new kicker from the new holder, levels the game at 14.
This time, Chris, here's Sonny Styles, and instead of playing man-to-man, he blitzes. Nobody has a chance to stay with him down on that left sideline. Another great call by Sarkisian. Moved him, got an indicator when you moved him from outside back to the backfield. Knew they had exactly what they wanted, and they secure the touchdown.
You said, remember that little underhand flip on 3rd down? Enormous play.
Huge.
Dead even again. AT&T brings you the CFP bracket down to these 3 teams. Notre Dame awaiting the winner. Dramatic last-second field goal to beat Penn State last night in Miami. Heading toward a dramatic finish this evening here in Arlington.
Well, that drive goes to Quinn Ewers, not just to scramble, converting the third downs, even on that touchdown pass. We mentioned how he got pressure. They brought a blitz. He had to just stare down the barrel and deal with that, and still made a perfect throw.
They had failed on 7 consecutive third downs before that drive. You pointed out 4 for 4 drive, including that improvisational flip to Wisner. Buckeyes, when you come back, tied at 14. All-State celebrating every field goal in PAT by making a donation to the university's General Scholarship Fund. Thank you to All-State. Monday night, NFL's Wild Card Weekend. 14-3 Vikings. How about you lose the showdown to Detroit? At the end, you got to go on the road. Now it's going to be, instead of at the Rams' home field, relocated to Glendale, home of the Cardinals, because, of course, the fires in Southern California. Megacast, it all begins at 8 o'clock Eastern time. 14 apiece. 18 and change to go in regulation. And the Texas crowd stirred up as Howard goes back to work with Henderson to his left. Nice, precise throw across the middle. And that's Carnell Tate backing for a first down. The flag comes in after the play.
Ohio State offensive lineman was downfield, and he nailed a Texas defensive back, Makuba. May have been the left guard, Serafeld, 67. I mean, it's a knockout shot.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, offense, number 67. The down count, it was a first down, 15-yard penalty, it's 1st and 10.
He's just trying to hustle, Chris, get downfield. You see offensive lineman, what's it right there from the left? Boom. That's after the whistle. Whistle had been blown. Dangerous play. These are the kind of plays they worry about. So first down, so they're not behind the sticks. They just moved. They lose a positive gain there by Tate.
Dangerous play. As you said, not that damaging because it's still 1st and 10. Fake to Henderson. Howard with guys closing in. Will be knocked down by Vernon Broughton. He can be a game wrecker when he gets going. Second sack for Texas, both here in the third quarter.
Well, Chris, he is what we would call a game wrecker because how he can take a play like this against the backup left guard. That's Luke Montgomery, and just dominate. You know, they had such great presence with Byron Murphy and Sweat last year at 45. Well, how did he hold on to that football?
Very lucky to avoid a fumble.
Wow.
Because Broughton got a hand on it and it fell right near where Howard was laying. Well, Texas would have been set up on the doorstep.
Howard didn't even have a chance to react. That's how quickly Broughton got in there.
Now, I don't know if they got the playoff. If so, they just did at 0. And Henderson picks up about 5. Another look at that play and how lucky Howard was to avoid a turnover.
Yeah, Broughton got in there right as he starts to throw it. I mean, that's a 300-pounder. Ball bounces out away from him and gets back, right back to him. But here we are at a 3rd and 15.
Kirk, you've talked about the line of scrimmage all night. Texas is starting to take control.
We saw that really in the start to happen in the first half. Jeremiah Smith still 1 reception for the 3 yards. He's at the bottom to the right of Will Howard.
And he's guarded by Gavin Holmes, not one of their premier corners. Across the middle, batted in the air, and falls incomplete. Colin Simmons got there. Smith was open across the middle, but Howard couldn't get it to him.
Yeah, I saw what you saw, and I thought, wow, that's crazy. Gavin Holmes is out there by himself. But that's just a disguise. They eventually move the safety. Look, they're walking up. They're trying to fool the offensive line, make it look like they're blitzing, and then they drop. Just rush 4, sit back, play zone. And I think that adjustment, that disguise from pre to post affected Will Howard and what he's reading.
What a turn this game has taken. As Texas erasing the 7-point halftime deficit, and that defense starting to really trouble Howard. And success on third down of that last drive for the UT offense.
And that was the play, really, at this point, play of the game. The fact they were able to keep this drive alive and what it led to. But 4 different times they faced the third down situations. Offensive line gave Wisner enough room to be able to pick up some first downs, and this is the fourth one. Good job of getting a indicator by having Blue out wide, brought him into the backfield. Ohio State brought the blitz with Sonny Styles. Nobody picked up Blue on that left sideline, and they scored their second touchdown on that very same play with Blue sneaking out of that left sideline.
Ewers has been able to avoid the pass rush better after halftime. The running game has certainly gotten going and helped that. And here's a first down carry. Wisner shakes free. He tried to jump over Hancock that time. Picked up 7.
This play is designed to work here, but watch the patience of Wisner. He just he's searching for grass. That play stopped, but because of his vision and patience, he's able to work around the back door and get positive yards.
Some tempo in 2nd and 3 while Ewers flips it, and it's going to be a loss. Wisner, great job to keep his balance and avoid what would have been a bigger loss. Sonny Styles dropped him 3 yards behind the line. It's going to be third down, final 30 seconds of the quarter.
Yeah, he got another 4 yards from that being a loss.
Who's out there, Kurt?
By getting his hand out.
Golden.
Yeah.
So Matthew Golden has returned, hasn't made an impact in this game since that 24-yard catch very early. Final quarter for a spot in the national championship game. Ohio State and Texas, 2 blue blood programs, deadlocked at 14 with 15 to play in regulation. All right, set up for a classic final quarter here. College football playoff semifinal at the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic. Deadlocked. Texas, such a huge problem in the third quarter all season, actually won that third quarter and now has the football back. Matthew Golden back in the game for this 3rd and 5. Buckeyes don't bring pressure, only a 3-man rush. They play coverage, and off the hands of Golden. Ewers had him open. It floated a bit, and after sitting for most of this game, he came back and couldn't quite collect that one-hander.
A little switch release, create a little confusion. Tight window, tough throw. Ball needs to get out early to give him a chance to go up and have room to get down. Just a little bit too high for Golden to be able to come down with that catch.
After telling trainers earlier the ankle didn't feel good enough to go back in there. Apparently he can go now, but just off the fingertips, and Ohio State gets the stop and gets the football back at the 12-yard line. Then you can attend the CFP National Championship game with Playoff Premium, the official hospitality program. The suites, tickets, all-inclusive hospitality, exclusive access, and more. Visit playoffpremium.com to book today.
Here in this fourth quarter, Steve Sarkisian told us this week on the call, Ohio State comes in so hot. We're confident in who we are. We want to get this game to the fourth quarter and be close, and then we got to find a way to win it. Well, this is going exactly the way Sark had envisioned, and it's just a matter of who's going to make the plays here in the fourth quarter. Field position, by the way, here in this fourth quarter has flipped to favor Texas. Ohio State starting much deeper in their own territory.
Howard on the move, looking to launch downfield, and it's Abuka, and a flag comes in. He was tripped up by Malik Muhammad, and they were aggressive there on first down.
Pass interference, defense, number 5. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
I really thought this was an out and up. He interfered with him early around the 20-yard line. He goes out, he grabs onto him before he can go. That's interference right there. And then he ends up running into him at the end. The fans are reacting because they saw it at the end. But trust me, the interference, I didn't see a flag come out early, but That was definitely interference there on Texas.
You can put your hands up all day long if you're Muhammad, but that was a penalty that was earned. Ibuka, just the one catch since the opening drive when he was the main weapon. G. Scott, the tight end, hit behind the line and dropped by Jalen Gilbo.
What a job here by Gilbo. Chris, I want you to watch his eyes. He does a great job of looking into the quarterback. He knows that it's coming. He does a good job of getting to the outside of the receiver and makes a huge play for a loss for that Texas defense. That's just recognition, eyes in the backfield, and then getting around that potential block that's in front of him. He just reacted too quickly.
Second and 12. Pocket closing in. Howard gets it out. Low throw off target and a short gain. You know, Texas in the fourth quarter, they've been successful. The one close game they couldn't pull out was that SEC championship game against Georgia. But time and again, of course, including that classic quarterfinal, they've made the plays in these close games to win them.
Absolutely. Both these teams are used to having not a lot, but enough moments to, they've been here before. They understand what's at stake and how to keep your poise and execute.
Part of what Sark was saying is he knows Ohio State has been mortal when they've been in these close games late.
Showing a lot of pressure. They bailed out of that look last time on third down. Now they're coming.
Howard backpedaling and flips it. Catch made. Tate got loose. Huge conversion out near midfield.
Great job of just kind of pulling that defense towards him. Bought enough time. I think Ohio State got away with a hold on that right tackle. 70, Josh Fryer. Simmons, the freshman, went around him, and he ended up locking up to him. It's a no call to be able to give Will Howard enough time to back out and make that throw.
Kirk, how about Carnell Tate stepping up? 7 catches. The top two guys, Ibuka and Smith combined, have 5. Smith still with just the 1 catch for 3 yards. Howard ducks under the pressure, launches downfield. Ibuka goes up, could not make the catch. Leaping attempts. Jahdae Barron was in coverage.
Well, Barron is playing zone, and he is one of the more talented and experienced corners. I think he's so versatile. His feel right here, see how he just did a nice job, read the eyes of the quarterback, and was able to get back there and affect that throw.
Tate, the sophomore from Chicago, tall guy, long arms. Nice to have a third receiver as good as he is when Smith is sort of taken away. Ibuka has been taken away since that opening possession. 17 has stepped up in a big way.
Absolutely. Here's that look I was talking about on that third down with Fryer against Simmons. A lot of people are going to be talking about this. Good job by Will Howard, but wow.
Bear hug.
Big time.
Collins being attended to. Will step aside.
But Jeremiah Smith has really made a name for himself. The first 2 playoff games against Tennessee and Oregon. And Ohio State's not been able to find ways to get him the football. You look at this and you think, wow, he's open. This is 1 catch, 3 targets, 1 catch for 3 yards. But what's really not seen here is what Texas has done, in my opinion, of rolling a corner off it and putting a safety over top it. They're bracketing him. They're double teaming him. Just doing a good job of trying to take him out of this game.
And the 1 pick was when he was trying to force the ball into Smith.
That's right.
And Benda made the pick. This is Judkins. Gets around the corner. Just powers for a first down to the Texas 42. Makuba made the tackle but paid the price.
Here's the AT&T connected cam. Give you a look at this. Judkins again finishes his runs. Gets the first down yardage with that effort right there. Good job kind of feeling Texas's pass rush, getting a little bit better and a little bit better. Nice quick throw that time by Will Howard.
Judkins had that touchdown, but has gained just 20 yards in his 6 carries tonight. Fake it to him on first down over the middle, and Tate was looking for a flag, did not get one. Malik Muhammad in coverage.
There's definitely contact from the defender. Let's see where the ball is thrown. Safety comes down. Bill, what do you think of that no call there?
I'm good with the no call. I think it's tight. Leave it alone.
Three-man rush on second down. Judkins has it. He had some space there. They do close him down. Simmons makes the stop. It'll be 3rd and 4.
By the time they rushed 3, dropped 8, their whole game, go back to their strategy. What did they tell us? We have so much respect for Ohio State's ability to get downfield. We have to keep the ball in front of us. We have to stay on top, meaning we've got, as we're running downfield as defensive backs, we cannot let them get behind us. If they make catches in front of us, we got to tackle in space. Get them to 3rd down, get them in the red zone, and get them off the field.
Fresh bodies. Colin Simmons was upset. He did not want to come off the field. And there's a flinch for Ohio State. So maybe Simmons can talk his way back out there after he got a breather. He was waving him off, said, no, I'm not coming out on this 3rd down.
5-yard penalty.
And they will sub him back in now for this play.
You got to get your best pass rusher out on the field in these 3rd down situations, especially now with the 5-yard penalty, pushes them back to about a 3rd and 9. What answer does Chip Kelly have here on his 3rd down and 9 to give Will Howard enough time to be able to find an option to be able to make this throw? They're going trips to the bottom here.
Yep, Smith, Ibuka, and Tate all to the left of the formation. No pressure, check down. It's Scott who makes the catch, and they close him down, running hard, but not enough for a 1st down. There are no small penalties at this point. That 5 yards set him back, and it's 4th down. Offense on the field.
Chris, they clear out the left side with those 3 receivers we're talking about, hoping to take defenders with them, and Texas does a good job there with Barron and other defenders to be able to be there, not be fooled by trying to flood that zone.
No 52-yard attempt for Fielding. Offense out there, they need 2 yards. Keep this drive alive. Henderson is the back. There was some confusion.
Yep.
Anthony Hill is a traffic cop. The middle linebacker was looking around. He didn't like what was going on. And so on this 4th down play, they will spend a timeout. Big moment coming up, final 10 minutes of regulation.
The CFP semifinal at the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic is brought to you by Goodyear. Discover the possibilities. Goodyear, more driven. AT&T, connecting changes everything. And Taco Bell.
4th and 2 for Texas. Talking to Will Howard. He played this team 3 times. He was at Kansas State. Twice he lost on 4th down stops. He hasn't been much of a runner. They've done all passing so far on this drive. Does that factor in perhaps?
Well, that's always a wrinkle that Chip Kelly likes to save for the perfect time. It's his parents looking on. You'd expect them to get the ball out on the edge, try to find space. Remember, Carnell Tate's had a big night tonight as a receiver. Emeka Buka, dangerous. 2 of them go along to the right there with Jeremiah Smith. And that trips look.
Does the forgotten superstar, forgotten so far tonight, Smith make a play? Slot to the right. Howard will run it, keep it, breaks a tackle, and is going to fall down short of the goal line. The turf monster got him, but they do convert on 4th and short.
So good call on the run. All this, the trips, and it's simply just going to follow QB power. Get behind that left guard. Great alignment as far as the offensive line, doing a good job of getting the angles that they need, coming off the ball.
Get so excited here.
He did. Whoops. Texas completely surprised with the formation and the call. Like we said, Chip Kelly likes to keep that QB run just for the right time, and he hit it there.
Picked up 18. We'll see if him not getting in the end zone is crucial. They pitch it back to Ibuka, makes a cut, and weaves through traffic. Gets down to about the 7. Picked up 8 yards on that play.
I think Emeka Buka To me, he's one of the most underrated receivers in college football. You look at him when you're down on the field in pregame. I don't know if there's a, don't get me wrong, Jeremiah Smith's beautiful. He's a great athlete, 6'3", 225. But boy, Emeka Egbuka looks like an NFL wide receiver out there physically. Great maturity. Nice run there. Texas in position, but he got underneath that. Taft coming up in run support.
Judkins ran it in their previous red zone attempt way back in the opening drive. He's got the football again, makes a cut, and is knocked down. It's going to be 1st and goal at the 2.
Great block by Bennett Christian. Boy, when Judkins gets the ball down inside the 10, you better come up with bad intentions if you're a linebacker or a safety, because he is lowering the boom. He's not the biggest back. He's about 215 pounds, but man, he runs like he's 230 pounds.
He's big enough.
11 plays, 86 yards in over almost 7 minutes on this drive.
Howard keeping all the way, and he'll be wrestled down right near the goal line. They have not signaled touchdown yet. Taft saved the score and got him down. It's going to be 2nd and goal, maybe a foot away.
What a collision. Taft's 195 pounds, Will Howard 235, and the ball just doesn't break the plane. What a collision there.
Power formation. Judkins. Touchdown, Ohio State takes the lead. What a march. 13 plays. It was all pass early. Then the 4th down conversion by Howard, and they muscle it into the end zone.
Texas met him just outside of the goal line, but that physical running style of Judkins goes right through those safeties and gives the Buckeyes, for now, the 6-point lead, and eventually this touchdown. If the extra point's good, they're up a touchdown here with about close to 7 minutes to go in this game.
Ohio State running backs accounting for all 3 touchdowns. 2 in the ground from Judkins. Of course, that long electric touchdown reception from Henderson. 3rd time tonight, Ohio State's had a 7-point lead. And here's the play. You said the wrinkle from Chip Kelly.
Yeah, you set it up and said, hey, don't forget this guy can run the football, and Chip Kelly likes to save it at the right time. They were so full. The safeties over there with those trip receivers. Howard almost takes it to the house before the turf monster gets him, but nonetheless, he gets that conversion. And look at the blocking. Watch this collision right there. Again, it's Taft. Good job by Gerd on the kick-out block. The tight ends, all 3 of them in there. Get up, stand up, big fella. There you go.
Yeah. Your guy Darren Brown, former Buckeye fullback, you appreciate that powerful block, springing the touchdown.
Yeah. It's a throwback. Chip Kelly, that's Chip Kelly style.
That drive, if Ohio State holds the lead this time, it's going to be remembered a long time. That bad field position, 80 yards. They threw the ball early in that 4th down conversion, and pure old school power football to go up 7 with about 7 to play. Now, does Quinn Ewers have an answer against his former school? Holly?
Well, guys, you saw that emotion from Will Howard after his big run. He has played Texas. He's 0-3 against them, not including tonight. When we talked to him on the phone this week, he said, there's just something inside me. I just don't like Texas. He promised he won't do the horns down until this game is in the bag. But that emotion coming out because he has not won against this team, and he wants to change that tonight.
Yeah, so many plot lines. That's an important one. And again, Ewers so keyed up to play the school where he spent the 2021 season deep in the depth chart. And it's flipped to Gunnar Helmy. Just got the ball up and over Sonny Styles. And the talent at tight end has had a quiet evening, but perhaps not too late to get him involved.
Yeah, JTT also at 6'5", put his hand up there, but the great position of the football. And Gunnar Helm, with that length, brought that catch down. That's his first catch of the game.
Blue, who has a couple of touchdowns, knocked down at the 40 by Hancock, and Texas has got it going here.
Sark going a little bit of tempo here, changing up some looks, trying to keep Ohio State on their heels.
Golden is back in the game. He's off to the left. They had that one target just off his hands since returning from the ankle injury. Ewers has to step up to avoid the pressure. And look out! Helm's loose! Gunnar Helm down the sidelines. Just shoved Caleb Downs to the turf. And Texas is in business. And a flag comes in. Are they going to get Helm for unsportsmanlike conduct after the play? It picked up 34.
We've seen so many mental mistakes in this game.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, offense number 85. His first of the game. 15-yard penalty. It's 1st and 10. Texas.
You can see him shove Caleb Downs away. We'll see if Bill DeMonier thinks the flag is justified.
And then he pointed to him. Here he is right here. It's a great call. He does a good job of selling it, delay, and then he ends up going down the sideline. But watch how patient he is with this. Wait, gets lost in coverage. It reminds me a lot of the play that they had in the second overtime. And this is where the penalty came in. He throws down Caleb Downs and then points. Without that point, he's fine.
Play action, Ewers looking downfield. It's Golden who makes the grab at the 15. Out of the locker room, out of the injury tent, back to the game for a big play.
They're reading Caleb Downs right there. He stayed up front with Moore. That's exactly where they wanted him, and they went right over top of Moore. What a nice touch ball there by Quinn Ewers.
Blue cuts back. What a drive for Ewers to answer after that methodical touchdown march by the Buckeyes.
It's almost eerily similar to last year's game against Washington. The experience that he has. Remember, they came up a little bit short. They were driving a chance to maybe tie it or win that game against Washington. Just not able to get it done. And here they are in another semifinal. Same situation, different team. But the experience that Ewers gained from that, how does he come out this time around, the second look?
Had a throw in the end zone against the Huskies. He was broken up.
That's right.
To secure the win for Washington. Second and long. Pitch to the perimeter. Wisner. Another play by a running back in the passing game. Running backs have scored all the touchdowns tonight, by the way, for both teams.
Yeah, and these, again, with these Texas running backs are so dangerous out of the backfield. You know, they came in tonight collectively with 75 receptions between the two of them.
It's enormous.
I mean, it's huge. And it's continued again tonight. They're leading this team in receptions. Blue, big night out of the backfield.
So here they go. They got 2 plays to get these 3 yards. Unlikely that Sarkisian would settle for 3 here. Wisner's the back. Ewers looking for the throw in the pocket. Pressure was closing in. They're going to get a flag in the end zone. Collision on the back line.
Lathan Ransom grabbed the jersey and pulled him down.
Pass interference, defense, number 8. Ball spotted at the 2-yard line. Automatic first down.
I think the Buckeyes did a good job of walling off Ryan Wingo. You'll see 2 defenders back there, Ransom and Sonny Styles, but right there with the jerseys, pulls him down. He was let's see it, contact there.
Each guy could have been called for pass interference on that one. First and goal at the 2. Texas will try to do what's been difficult. Ohio State's been very, very tough in this goal line defense all season long. Looking to throw for a slant. Golden was knocked down. There comes a flag again. So that'll move it a yard closer. It was Jermaine Matthews caught up with the receiver that time.
I think his left hand got on the hip
Pass interference, defense
of the receiver on Golden.
Half the distance to the goal penalty. Automatic first down.
Respect for the Ohio State front by Sarkisian. It's been really tough to run the ball in from them.
Oh yeah,
against this
absolutely.
defense.
What a route there by Golden with that injury. Worked it outside. Did a good job of working back to the inside, and really the only thing Matthews could do is grab onto that hip.
Got some big fellas in the game, Kirk. Baron Sorrell, defensive lineman, is in there. Jermaine Lole's in there to the left, playing a tight end. Jarrett Gibson is their short yardage back. He's got the ball. I'm telling you, you can try, but it's been tough to do.
But you got Hamilton in there. You got Caden McDonald, who's a great run stopper. Go back and watch that Penn State goal line stand. McDonald was all over it, making plays. JTT, they do a good job of the interior getting down low. And then you have these edge guys that are able to get off of blocks. It just makes it really tough to run the football down here between those tackles.
That's what we're talking about. Penn State had 4 cracks from like the 3-yard line. Yep. Could not get it in.
Yep.
2nd and goal. Pitch on the edge. Strung out. Drop for a loss. Huge play. Ransom and Hancock got there.
Well, Chris, how many times do we got to talk about the instincts of this guy right here? Caleb Downs, able to find a crease in the offense, able to get back there, that slows down Wisner. There's the rest of those scarlet jerseys flying to the football.
That might be the play of the game if Ohio State holds on to win. 7-yard loss. They're at the 1. Now 3rd and goal from the 8.
Watch these two right here. That's Golden and Moore.
Ewers deflected at the line, and it falls incomplete.
Now Jack Sawyer's on the offense is right, but works to the inside to affect Ewers. I thought JTT on that side may have impacted that throw, but instead it's Jack Sawyer once again getting his hand on a football. Here we go.
A 4th down touchdown pass in the last quarterfinal round got him here. It's not do or die, but it's close for Ewers. Pressure comes. Sawyer knocked it out and picks it up. Jack Sawyer headed down the sidelines. Ohio State scoop and score and dagger from 82 yards. You can't script this. Roommates, when Ewers was at Ohio State, he spoils his dream with that strip sack and touchdown.
And how fitting for what this team's been through this entire year. This is a veteran defense, and nobody embodies that more than Jack Sawyer, the senior at 6'5", 260, who grew up in Columbus, Ohio, lifelong Buckeye fan. With the game on the line, he makes the play that could send Ohio State to the national championship.
All season long, Ohio State's goal line stands have been an enormous part of their story here. We said fewer things are harder in college football than getting the ball across the goal line against the scarlet and gray from in close. And the collective play, Downs and Ransom, Hancock combining in that tackle for loss was huge.
Absolutely. Let's just show you where he is on this outside. He's been doing it all year, been doing it tonight. Able to get around Cameron Williams, that dip, the bend, before Ewers, his former roommate, can get the ball out. He strips it. And as you said, athletic, big dude can run all the way to the end zone.
Captain Jack with the house call. Ohio State closing in on the championship game. Will Howard, euphoric, came to this school for victories like this. And on the other side, dejection.
What's funny is a lot of people don't know Quinn was my roommate when he was here. So me and Quinn, we have a good friendship, and I'm excited to play against him. He's a great player, had a great year, had a great career at Texas.
Sorry, it's just business, nothing personal.
Nah.
What a play. They hadn't had a sack in a long time. They hadn't had a sack in the second half at all. It's an 83-yard scoop.
Look at that, man. Look at that emotion, dude. That's college football right there. How great is that? God, that's great.
Will Howard in his life may have never been that fired up, right? Wow. Holly?
Well, Jack Sawyer grew up near Columbus. He is a Buckeye through and through. His entire bedroom as a kid was decorated in scarlet and gray. He went on a recruiting trip to Ohio State. Ryan Day had just gotten the job, and he was a 5-star, high-level recruit. He goes home and his dad said, "You're not committing right now. We are going to play it cool. We're going to take other visits." Well, his dad decided to take a nap that afternoon, and while his dad was asleep, he called Ryan Day and said, "I'm coming. I will be a Buckeye." The first recruit of Ryan Day's class, him signing with him, the trickle-down effect, a lot of more talent came, and I love that he did it while his dad was taking a nap because he knew where his heart was.
Ewers now doesn't have time to check things down. Short gain. Remember what Sawyer told us? He was so involved in that crushing loss to Michigan. He was the guy that grabbed the flag away. And he said he was given so much grief, not how he put it, from the fans of Ohio State. He couldn't even go to his favorite wings joint. Man, things can change in a few weeks in the CFP.
It's all history.
Yeah.
Now it's about that strip and score. What he just able to do. I mean, I'm thinking back at all the Ohio State plays I've ever seen since the mid-'70s. That's up in the top 3 or 4 ever of any play I've ever seen.
I trust your judgment on that one.
Wow. Can't believe that.
So Kirk, Texas has got Texas fight, right? They're going to need all of it now.
They'll need
2 timeouts.
2 minutes to go. Ewers buying some time, fires along the sidelines and incomplete. No surprise that Sawyer's scoop and score is the longest fumble return in the history of the CFP. Second one he's had this year, had a much shorter fumble return for a touchdown against Purdue earlier in the season.
Jim Knowles, the Ohio State defensive coordinator, on the left there in the hat, who's one of the best in the business. He's done a great job all year, and his defense done a good job of getting pressure with 3, getting pressure with 4, and playing a lot of zone tonight.
Ewers steps up down the middle. It's intercepted. Caleb Downs has got it, and he'll just take a seat at the 41. And Ohio State can start plotting for Notre Dame and celebrating a 3rd consecutive playoff victory.
Well, we talked about number 2 all year. And just like Jack Sawyer, how great is it for one of the best players on this Ohio State defense to step up and make a play? That's a great shot of it. Look at him right here. Gets the call, communicates the call. Watch him. We know what he can do in run support. That's why he's in the middle of the field. He's not even looking at the quarterback. He's looking to his right, looking and waiting for an in-breaking route. Look at him studying it. Wait. He saw it. Now he steps up. He stepped up because of that in-breaking route, anticipating that ball might go in the air, and it did. That's backyard football for number 2. That's just instincts.
And Ohio State going to beat a second SEC team in this playoff. Sandwiched around victories over the Big Ten champion Oregon Ducks as Judkins picks up 10.
Now you start to spin it forward.
Yep.
To Ohio State, Notre Dame. Notre Dame, huge win last night. Marcus Freeman, a former Buckeye, grew up in Ohio. So much talk will be made about that. He's done such a remarkable job of getting Notre Dame to where they are. Chance to play in a national championship. It's his birthday today. Happy birthday to Marcus. And the Buckeyes end up getting and punching their ticket as well to that national championship. Ohio State, Notre Dame, national championship, January 20th. I say we go there now. Can't wait.
Sneak for a first down. Ram Trucks post game coming up. Of course, we'll have reaction from the Buckeyes. We'll begin to look ahead. So have the trophy presentation.
Did Notre Dame watch tonight and think, I like what Pete Kwiatkowski did with Jeremiah Smith. There's a lot to look at in the film study of what Texas tried to do. Oh, that's great.
When the coach jumps in a player's arms, that's pure joy.
They've been so cool these first 2 wins in the playoff. There's a little bit more fire right now.
No takeaways until those 2 crucial ones. Sawyer's scoop and score. Downs pick. Texas does fight hard. Then Ohio State has the final word. Buckeyes out of the championship game. It's going to take a whole lot for Notre Dame to beat this football team. Ram Trucks post game begins right now. Irish have been gritty with the offensive line patchwork. They're going to have to get those guys healthy and ready.
Oh, yeah.
Defensive front for Ohio State.
That's Coach Mick, the strength coach there, saying hi to yours.
Let's go to Laura as Ryan Day.
All right, thanks, Chris.